guys can see what the potential is of this life-changing opportunity. And I know you've heard those terms before, but literally it's a life-changing opportunity to add on. I know we trade the Forex market and whatever else, but when you add in the futures market as well, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. All right, waiting for it to load up. Okay, there we go. It's I mean, it's amazing. All right, there we go. So got you guys up there, got you over here. What am I missing? All right, and then I'm gonna share screen number 3. Okay, we're good there. Okay, so real quick, let me do just a sound check and I'm gonna put it back on. All right, if you can see me, hear me, and see my screen, okay, type a number 3 in the box. All right, good, good, good. All right, perfect. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you guys. All right, so here's the deal, guys. Uh, we're on just a few minutes early, and we're going to look at these charts and see what they're talking about today, which is not much of anything. I haven't traded a lot in the Forex market right now because the tariffs are just doing some damage, and so it is what it is. Um, but let me share this with you guys. There was something very important that Dr. Miles Monroe said, and I can confirm that myself, which is why I'm actually doing some of the stuff I'm doing, because I could have and sometimes actually wanted to just say, you know what, the heck with all this. I can go back to just being quiet and just let it be me and Nancy and my kids. And we just trade on our own. I don't have to be bothered with people. I don't have to answer to people. I don't have to hear all the whining. I don't have to be called niggers and all this and that and this. And when I'm trying to teach a class to try to help people, and then, I don't have to deal with any of this stuff. Why am I even doing it? It's really not something I have to deal with. It's a choice. So why take on all this abuse? Why take on the stress? Why take on all that? Well, there's something he said that's very important before we get to these charts, and I want you guys to really hear me good. He said something vital, and I don't want it to go over your head because even as your pockets may grow and your portfolio may grow, and you keep priorities priorities. I can honestly say, I had my 7,000 square foot house. Then I had my other house, which was 3,500 square feet, which was literally a 5-minute drive from my 7,000 square foot house. And that was the house that was sitting 1 block away from the golf course. You can look out the window and see the golf course. Then you have my other house, which was about 5 more minutes from that, which was our 2,000 square foot house or 2,500 square feet, whatever it was. So we used to call it the small, medium, and large. I had 3 houses within a 10-minute range from each other, 10 minutes away from each other. We call it small, medium, and large because one was 2,500, 2,000, one was 2,000 square feet, one was 3,500 square feet, and the other one, the larger one, was the 7,000 square foot house. So I have multiple houses. And then that's not my investment properties as well. I have investment properties. I own condos, I own apartment units, I own houses. I was buying cars every year. My closet on the big house was larger than most closets I've ever seen on any houses. And I can honestly say that because I designed the house myself. I started getting into designing homes, and not only for myself, but I helped design homes for other people. And what I used to do, because where I lived, where my 7,000 square foot house was, which was larger than some of the celebrities that you guys know. How do I know? Because when their house was under construction in the same exact neighborhood, I actually used to walk through their house and look at how their house was designed. I'll never forget one guy, he had a cool swimming pool shape though. I mean, his was cool. I ain't gonna lie, it was cool. His swimming pool's in the shape of a football. So he was a football player. So his swimming pool was designed in the shape of a football. I thought that was the coolest thing. But when you look at how they designed their bedrooms, they designed it just a basic, normal size bedroom. It wasn't nothing immaculate. So I put a lot of emphasis into building my bedroom, and my bedroom was almost with the closet, the bathroom, the way I designed it, and everything. And it was a two-story bedroom. I designed it so that my bedroom was I think it was 2,000 square feet, something around there, 2,000 square feet. The fireplace was a 10-foot tall fireplace. Okay. 10, no, 20 foot fireplace, floor to ceiling fireplace. Some of you guys never seen anything like that. Why am I saying all that? Why am I sharing all that? Is this to brag? Is it to do this or that? Actually, no. What I'm explaining to you guys is this. When life hits you and slaps you upside your head, none of that even matters. It doesn't matter. In fact, I wrote one time years ago that when my life had started crumbling, that castle felt like a prison to me. A beautiful home, the biggest in the neighborhood. My house was the largest house in the neighborhood. It was the largest one, so big that when we was under construction with the contractors, the city came out to do their inspection, and they forced the builders against their will. They forced the builders against their will to put a entire sprinkler system in my house because they said that house was more the size of a office building than it was a residential property. And as of such, the codes required for them to put in a sprinkler system throughout my entire house, which cost thousands and thousands of dollars. I didn't even have to pay for it. That's how big the house was. Nobody in the neighborhood was close to mine in the immediate neighborhood. Now you go up a little bit further and you had, some sports stars, which if I say one of their names, you wouldn't know exactly who he is. They used to stay up the street from me. There was a famous baseball player stayed up the street. His sons play football with my son in high school. So I've done all of that. I've done all that. So a lot of you guys who wonder why I don't do flashy videos and this, I've done all of that. And I will tell you this, when life comes and slaps you, none of that matters. You can care less. In fact, it becomes more of a burden. It is easier. Let me say this to you guys, and we're going to look at charts, but again, we only have 2 more weeks with you. I only have 2 more weeks, so I need to download some knowledge into your head. Okay, especially with the Futrix program, because the Futrix money come even fast. It comes real fast. And so what happens is that when that money is coming in fast, some of you guys are going to lose, you're going to have the wrong priorities. Okay. And this is why I'm teaching you this now. For those who watched my video last night, you seen me record from start to finish what I was doing with my Futrix account. And you seen I did, with Nancy, 10 grand in 24 hours. Listen, it was like 24 hours, something like that. Okay. 24 hours, $10,000 in the Futrix program. Okay. And I recorded the videos. So money will come fast. It'll come fast. And what happens is that if a person who never had money start getting a lot of money, the first thing they're going to do is misprioritize the money. And you start chasing after things that is a waste of time instead of making priorities priorities. And so when I was younger, I told you guys that my first time when I retired from a job, I was in my late 20s. I was around the same age. No, yeah, I was about 27, 28 when I retired. And that's when I was into real estate. So I retired. I wasn't working for nobody. I was working for myself, young, had lots of money, worth millions of dollars. Money, it just seemed like it was just, I couldn't lose. That's the way it felt. Like I couldn't lose until I did. Until I did. And when I lost, I had a plan on how to build, but I didn't have a plan in case something went wrong because my priorities was off. And I want you guys to understand the purpose of what I'm doing here is to put families in a financial position. And I want you to hear exactly what I'm telling you and never get my motives twisted. I am always trying to find various ways to help people get in a financial position so that you have enough money to not worry about your bills, not so you can show off. Now, I can't tell you what to do. Y'all grown, do what you want to do. But my motive is not to help you get the next fancy car, the next fancy clothes, the next fancy shoes, purse, or hairdo, or whatever. I'm not here to try to help you get Louis on your back, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, and whatever other name you want to. I have a friend who called it label horn. Got to have the labels. They call them label whores. Oh, I don't wear it. If it ain't got the name, I don't wear it. It's the same manufacturers in China making it. They just slapped on the name and you paid 40 times the amount than what it was supposed to be because you paid for the name. Because you just got to have the name because you feel like wearing somebody else's name gonna make you the bougie one in your neighborhood. See, I'm not here to help you with that. Never get my motives twisted. I don't need to, I would never deal with the weight and the problems I deal with behind the scenes if it was strictly just so you can try to bougie up and try to look fancy. That's a waste of my time. The purpose of what I'm doing for you guys is simply one, have enough money to pay your bills so that you're not thinking about money, but you're thinking about, God, how can I serve my purpose in life and bring glory to God? So that when I leave here, I have done something good with my life other than just working to pay my bills. I want to be extremely clear on that. Now, do I have an issue with having things? Absolutely not. I don't have a problem with that. If you can afford to buy nice things, buy it. But don't make it a priority because, again, every person who have made things a priority, guess what happened? Once they got done making those things a priority and then they hit the grave, somebody else ended up coming in and wearing those things. Or they got donated to Goodwill, or they got given away to somebody. Somebody else ended up with it. So you work hard all your life for things that's just going to go into the hands of other people. But if we looked at what your life represented, it was really nothing because you made your life all about getting the bag and getting those things. You got beautiful women out here prostituting themselves so that they can get with a guy who can pay to buy them what? Food and clothes and a roof over their head that's a little bougie. But you just prostituted your soul for it. You got dudes out here who busting their butt doing illegal things so they can buy a car, wear jewelry that they really couldn't afford, and then they end up in prison for the rest of their life. So what did your life actually sum up to? You're chasing things and not purpose. And I guarantee you, there is no reward at the end of the road if you're just chasing things. Look at what your priorities are. Why are you trading in these markets? If you had $10,000 today, what would you actually do with it? Yeah, see, Uncle Pete, bro, I'm finna go get and I'm finna go buy this, and Louis and Balenciaga and all those other ones and Red Bottoms, they all getting all your labor. They getting all your labor. Because every time you get paid, you got to go buy something to show off, to act like you're a baller and barely paying your bills. The priorities are wrong. Have you ever looked at really, really wealthy people? I was watching this show, and then we're going to get to the charts. Like I said, we're going to get to that. But this, I have today and next week. And I've told you guys, I had several teeth pulled. My face is swollen. I couldn't even sleep last night. I'm so exhausted. But you know what? I'm still going to show up because I need to show up like I said I was going to do. Okay. Let me just talk to you guys. Then we get to these charts. But let me spit game to you. Me and Nancy was watching a show recently, and it was about people selling yachts, mega yachts, not just little boats, the little whatever you call them. I forgot what you call them little things, but these are yachts where they design it like a home, like a hotel. I mean, these are yachts, and they're not for commercial use. This is for private owners, millionaires and billionaires. And when we was watching that show, a lot of them had on suits, but a lot of them just came in there and they had to the show had to say who they were because you see this guy, who is he walking in here? Especially in my community. Dude had on a hat just like this, but a little raggedy and just a t-shirt and some flip-flops, and couldn't find out the guy was a billionaire. See, they don't worry about what they look like. They worry about their investments to stretch their money. And they weren't buying them boats just to show out the boat. That's where they park their money into things that's of value. Their thinking is different. They think investment and long term to stretch the money so they can live the life they want, so they can do whatever comes to their mind that they want to do. Sometimes it's wicked, sometimes positive, but either way it goes, it doesn't matter. They're investing their money to stretch it out so that the things that they do buy have some value, some tax write-off. Your red bottoms, you can't write them off. Your Louis Vuitton jacket you just spent $2,000 on that you really couldn't afford, you can't write that off. So they invest into things that they can write off for tax purposes. And they keep investing so that they are financially free to do whatever they decide to do with their life. That is why I'm here. I'm trying to help you to find different ways. So you say, well, Uncle P, you were doing Forex and now you're doing this and that. Yes, because all these markets offer an opportunity, and not all opportunities is for everybody. So I constantly search and say, okay, this may be better for you. This one may be better for you. If you're a person like a truck driver or whatever, then guess what? Maybe the futures market may not be for you because you can't go into the markets at the time it's time to go into the markets. But for those who are working at an office or stay at home, it may be perfect for you. Maybe you don't like having to hold trades for a while. Maybe you want to get in and get out. If that's the case, okay, here's an opportunity in the futures market. And that's where futures come in. But for those who just say, hey, I want to take a trade once a day, a couple of trades a week, and do that. Or some of you guys may say, I want to do a combo of each. Okay, that's cool. Whatever it is, I'm here to try to help you be in a financial position so that you don't have to think about money. You're thinking about, okay, God, I'm waking up today. What is it that you want me to do? Is there anything you need my help with today? Thank you for blessing me to be in a financial position so I'm not thinking about money. Lord, how can I serve your kingdom today? And here's what makes it better. And this is why I never desired to be a preacher man. If he says for me to do it, I'll do it. But I never wanted that. But if I did, I told God, I just need to be financially stable because I don't ever want to even hear about, oh, well, Uncle P, he out here preaching, he taking people's money. No, because I never asked you for an offering, fool. I can afford to do this on my own. Because there are good preachers out there who work harder than public speakers and all these other people, and people have no problem paying Tony Robbins thousands of dollars to go see him one time and this and that. And you got preachers who are out here dealing with people's families, children's ministries, sick, coming to the hospitals, and this and that. And then if they ask for an offering to help support the church building and their family, oh, he's a ripoff. But you're supposed to show up and do funerals for us. You're supposed to show up and do marriage counseling for us. You're supposed to show up and do a plethora of things. But if he asks for an offering, oh, he's a ripoff scam artist. Man, I am so sick and tired of people. See, I want to do whatever God calls me to do without having to think about dealing with the people. Because if you're in a financial position, it doesn't matter what they say. You don't have to financially need them. And so you got a lot of preachers who are working their butts off to try to help the community, but they're afraid to ask for a dollar because they appear to be a scam. Because there are some out there who are scams, and I get it, but not all of them are. So they can barely afford to pay for their families because a lot of y'all, I don't give to no preacher. But then you want them to do the funeral at their church. But you want some preacher to come and pray over your family when they get sick. You want this and that. So you want them to do the job, but you don't want them to get the pay. See, I don't want to be involved in all that foolishness. Whatever God calls you to do, I'm trying to make you guys be in a financial position so that whatever he calls you to do, you can do it without worry about finances. And it makes an easier conversation if you have to pivot and move because God calls you to do something different. And then you have to have that tough conversation with your significant other. If you have an offset income, regardless of the amount, if you have an offset income as an insurance amount that you can pluck from these markets, then it makes the conversation with your significant other a whole lot smoother because you're not jeopardizing their safety and security to pivot and do what God is asking you to do. They'll be like, okay, I understand. Why? Because they see that you're making money out of the markets. So yeah, if you have to leave this or you have to change that, it's not that tough of a conversation anymore. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't feel like being here all the time. I can do this stuff on my own. I don't need no stress and all this foolery that I deal with, but it's for a greater good for you guys. It's for a greater good. Because some of you guys, you're called to do important work. You've been called and you know God been calling for a while, but you've been shunning that responsibility. Why? Number one, because of finances sometimes. God, I know you want me to do this, but I got to make this money to pay the bills. If Uncle P can come in and find different ways for you guys to be able to make income where that conversation is no longer there, then you'll quickly raise your hand and say, God, I volunteer. I'm ready to go. That's my goal. All right. So let's move on. All right, let's go to the charts now. So right now, again, guys, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not seeing a lot of things that give me 100% confidence in the markets right now, and due to the tariff situation. And it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. It's a disruption. In my opinion, it is a necessary disruption because we do have to balance the books. I told you guys that last week that, you know, everybody, and this is so crazy. And again, I'm not a Trump fan. Don't put me on that. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't even vote for these people. I do my own. I vote for me. You know, when it's time to vote, I go into the booth and I ask God, help me vote for me so I can find ways to take care of me and take care of the people you put in under my purview or my influence. That's all I care about. All this political stuff, I don't get into that. But as a man who is an investor, I do pay attention to things. And here's the truth. It didn't matter who did it, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, something had to be done. Everybody is talking about, oh yeah, the US is in $36 trillion in debt. But who did you hear say, here's the plan to actually fix it? You see what I'm saying? And like I told you last week, the US was holding itself out to everybody and get nothing in return. So the books did need to be rebalanced. And I'm glad to see that a lot of the countries are now coming to the table saying, okay, we're ready to negotiate. See, if they knew if there was nothing going on wrong, they wouldn't be coming to the table to negotiate. But what was the problem? The problem is they would produce their goods, sell them over here to us. And what this whole conversation I just had with you guys, what was the actual problem? What am I rebuking you on? Because we are a consumer nation. We buy everything because we got to look good. We got to front like we look good so they can make their stuff over there and they guaranteed to make a profit. Why? Because we got hungry people who have the wrong mentality and they go and spend their money on everything they get. They can't hold a dollar. Tax season just came. A lot of y'all already spent up your tax return, and it wasn't to pay your bills off. It was buying things you didn't need. Okay. So what the other countries were doing, they knew they had a free prostitute. Okay. We're going to have a good time with this chick. We're going to play with her and she's going to make us money. Normally, you're supposed to pay the prostitute. But in this situation, we were the prostitutes paying them to prostitute us. Why? Because we just keep on making me look good and I'll pay you. Keep making me look good and I'll pay you. So they was getting rich and wealthy off of us But then if we were to send our products over to them, they already had tariffs in place. So I don't understand why people are having this big issue with, oh, tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. They were already doing that to us. So we couldn't sell anything over there to them without paying the tariff, but they shipped theirs over here, no tariffs. And we paid for it. And then if there was a war, we paid for that. If there was a disaster over there, we paid for that. If y'all having problems, we send our troops over and we pay for that. So we're paying for everything, but we get nothing. We can't export our goods. They don't want them. In fact, I was watching a documentary, a couple of them, just to confirm my thought process. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. Do you know that I do believe this tariff war would not last that long? I do agree with that. Why? Because when I was looking now, I could be wrong. Y'all do your own due diligence. And I'm talking about the charts. I'm telling you why things are out of balance. Look at this huge splash down and then the huge splash up. This is not normal. Okay. So if you're struggling in the markets, don't worry about it. It's not you. Okay. This is completely abnormal. This is not normal. Okay. So here's what happened. I was looking at several citizens in China who was doing documentaries on their lifestyle and what was going on. And do you not get my point? This is what I'm trying to tell you. Get my point. There are whole streets where there are wholesalers and everything else completely bare. They were showing camera footage of these places that are normally hustling and bustling with business, and they were completely bare. Hold on one second. They were completely bare. Nobody was there. Streets are empty. Businesses are collapsing. Why? Because, watch this, watch this, watch this. In their own country where they produce their goods that they ship to us, now that the United States have been cut off, they have all that product, but they don't have the whole to spend it on, to share it with. I'm being very blunt so you get it. They don't have the prostitute to decorate with. I make my goods, I sell it to my hoe. And I'm sorry for using blunt terms, but you need to understand exactly what I'm saying. Because this is the only prostitute in the world where we will give her our stuff, and instead of her paying, let me rephrase it, instead of us having to pay her for a good time, she actually pays us. She's a free prostitute. And now that the United States is cut off, the free prostitute is gone. So they got all these products that they can use in their own country. Guess what happened, guys? In their country, they don't spend money. So a lot of that goods and services, factories are literally shutting down. I saw they showed a job, not a job fair, but a product fair where these people were in a product fair where normally, you have buyers come in, look at the products and buy in bulk. They had this product fair and a lot of people there were crying. Why? Because the prostitute wasn't there. In all these other countries, they don't buy like that. Just the United States. We're the only ones. We're what they call a consumer nation. And because we consume so many things, meaning we got to look good, got to have everything looking good because we got to look like we successful. Broke is a joke, but you're going to look successful in front of all your friends and family. And how do you do that? From buying from everybody else. But if we was to make a product here and ship it to them in exchange, they say, oh, we have tariffs. You're going to have to pay these tariffs. That's been in place. So everybody knew we were trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. Everybody talked about that, but nobody had a discussion as to how we got there and what to do about it. Nobody did. So we were literally about to collapse. And again, I'm not into politics, so don't tell me about this. Oh, you must be a Trump. And look, if you got that kind of attitude, just leave now. Okay, because I done told you up front, I ain't into no Trump, I ain't into no Biden, I ain't into politics. I'm into numbers, and the numbers weren't adding up. There's no way we can spend and just finance all the wars, sending billions of dollars over here. We ship things, but nobody buys our stuff. So even if we don't produce it and people here don't buy it, we didn't have anything going on, except for a little bit of agriculture, this and that, a few things, but not much. And we're financing the entire world. And the only way we were doing that is because we had what they called that Gutenberg printing press. Okay, the printing press. So we were printing out money. That's how we survived. It wasn't because we actually were worth something. It was because we had one single tool. We go broke, we print more money. And that's the reason why the dollar was collapsing. It had no value because it was just, we just print more. Just imagine, it's like counterfeit money. Truth be told, it was like counterfeit money because it really wasn't worth anything. It was counterfeit money. We were in trouble. And so now, as the world is trying to find its balance, what's happening on these markets, as you can clearly see on these charts, everything is trying to calibrate itself when nobody knows exactly where it's going to go. Here's my whole point of trading. What I'm suggesting that you do, okay, and which is why I like the Futrix program, okay, because in Futrix, you're not in them trades long at all. I don't give a rat's behind whether you go up, down, sideways. There's really no hold time other than maybe, you're gonna, which by the way, I'm gonna have to pause for a minute because I gotta get my bread, bro. But the point is that when you're in the futures market or the futures market, you're in there for a short amount of time. Okay, so it doesn't really matter whether you're in there for a long time, short amount of time. Time doesn't exist. I don't really care. Okay. But when you're trading in the Forex market, I've always been a person who's went to the higher time frames because you have to, because there's so much global interruption to it. Okay. It's global interruption. So let me give you a better example. In the futures market, you're basically trading only one country's item. Okay. We don't have to think about the global markets. We don't have to read the news coming out and this and that. Why? Because we're in there for a short amount of time. And number two, it's only one country's items we need to worry about. So when you talk about the US 30, NASDAQ, and S&P, all three of those are owned by the US. So anything that has to do with the global economy and this and that, it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter. But when you come over here to Forex, everything matters. And this is why we're seeing this choppiness. So here's my suggestion to you. As you're trading the Forex market, look at this. This is a perfect example. Okay. Normally you see it go up, I'm sorry, down, up, down, up. And then look at this. See all this cat scratching? See? Tariffs. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Okay. Right here, this has been going up. Now, this was a great opportunity for a sale, but can it be trusted? I don't know. Right here was a sale. Nice, nice, huge move to the downside. That was very, very nice move. Okay. Let's keep going. This one, see, that's not normal. That's not normal. That's not normal. Very difficult. Okay. So what I'm suggesting again is this. When you're trading the Forex market, look at this thing here. That's crazy. That is a crazy move. Look how it shot huge. Bing, bing, and then slid down the pole. Okay. When you're trading in the Forex market right now, you're in trades. What you want to do is just reduce your lot size for now. Okay. Reduce your lot size. Okay. Okay. All right. Reduce your lot size. Okay. So if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Okay. The other thing is the NZDs and the AUDs are highly manipulated because they're tied to China as well. Okay. So now we seem to see a little bit of a bottom here on the dollar pairs. Let's check USD CAD. Let me go to the 30-minute. See all this choppiness? So just chill. Like I said, take your positions, but just take them small, small positions. Now this looks beautiful. I like this. See? Boom, 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 boom. But what's the key part on this one? It's still maintaining this level of support right there. Okay. So I do like that. Right here, it came down. It's bouncing, bounce. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I do like that one. So it may be bottoming out. This one already bottomed and started going up. Okay. This one sideways. Boom. I think this one's going to come back down and create a head and shoulders. All right. If it comes back, it'll probably do something like that. And then we have the head down here. So this is called what they call an inverse head and shoulders pattern, or upside down head and shoulders. Here's the head, shoulder, shoulder. Okay. So that's what we're looking at on the dollar pairs, which means this did go up, but it looked like it's stalling. Okay. This one here looks like it's stalling out. It did do a pullback, but hopefully it'll do the same thing as this. And if it does, it'll cascade on down and hit real hard and smack. Okay. Let's look at this one. Okay. Stalling out right here. Let's look at the euro dollar. Okay. Same thing. I don't see much. GU. GU, I don't like it, to be honest. I'm not a fan of it. It already dropped. See that double top and drop on the 15? You had your opportunity right here. 415er. It was right, real nice and smooth. Okay, let's mark this up. Drop to the 15-minute. And there was the arrow, literally on the line. Okay. But as for now, what do I see? It may pull back up before it drops some again. Okay. All right. Let's take hands. And if you have questions, guys, remember this today and next week is the final. That's it. There's no more of this. I'll be in the Futurix program. Okay. So let's go ahead and take hands. Anybody have questions for me? Good morning, Todd. Good morning, Robert. And I'll move myself up here. All right. Any hands? Any hands? Ask now, because if not, we done. Oh, yeah. New York market open. Ooh, yeah, baby. You know what I'm doing. Few tricks. Wait for this market. Okay, we got a hand. Annick, go ahead and unmute. Hello.
Yes. Good morning, Uncle P.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I'll go ahead and mute you again. Try to unmute yourself. Try to raise your hand and unmute yourself because I couldn't hear you. Any other hands? Okay, let's go ahead. Go ahead and unmute. Annick.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I still can't hear you. Oh, wait. Stop. Lord, forgive me. It's me. My fault. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You know what? I turned my speaker off because it bounces a little static noise. I'm sorry. That's on me.
Oh, no. That's okay. Thank you so much. This is my first time joining.
Oh, good. Welcome.
Yes. I have a quick question. So today's session is only going to be Forex, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you. I'm a future trader, so.
Well, like I said, hey, this is where, if you were in the Futurix program, you actually would have been in live in class today with Miss Jenny. While you're sitting here with me, you would have been in there with her. So make sure to join. And like I said, starting for the next 2 weeks, today and next week, all 3 days will be with Miss Jenny. Which somebody has sent me a message saying, "Hey, Uncle P, I'm making a killing here." So, yeah, they're doing very, very well. And I'm looking at my charts as well. So if you want to be a part of that, go ahead and join the Futurix program, and you could be in there right now. I think they're probably still in there. And I know,
Oh, okay.
and I know tomorrow they'll be trading live as well. So don't miss out. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck,
You're welcome.
guys.
Good luck. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Any other hands? Any other hands? Any questions about anything? Anything? Like I said, we can just chop it up before, this our last 2 weeks. Let me know if you have any questions on anything. Okay. Any trading stuff, whether Forex, futures, whatever it is, let me know. Because if not, then we'll call it a day and I'll go ahead and get to trading on my own. All right, Reg, what's up, brother?
Morning.
What's up, brother? What's going on, man?
All right. Might I take a look at GBP
G Swiss?
G Swiss?
Yeah, I didn't see anything I liked. That's why I passed right over it.
Okay, because Swiss pairs were seeing, well, something about those Swiss pairs when I was looking at them showed something, and I'm like, okay, I don't know about this.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it. That's why I didn't even, I went right on past it. I
No,
went right past it. See, like for an example, let me show you guys this. I'm gonna mark this off. What the heck is this?
a whole bunch of what? Choppy and sloppy.
Okay, then you had this. Okay, whoever said what the heck? What the heck? You see what I'm saying? What is going on? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's some
Uh,
crazy stuff. That's some crazy stuff. That's some really, really crazy stuff right there.
okay.
So what happened is, and just by me drawing this little, structure right here, price structure, you can see the market was going sideways, sideways, sideways. It was waiting for a problem. Okay. The market was already waiting for a problem. That's why it was sitting sideways. That's why I tell you guys, whenever you see a sideways market, be prepared for a breakout that's huge. Okay. Because it's just chopping, 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 chopping. Whichever way it's going to break, it's going to break hard. It's going to be, it can pay off your mortgage, when it does break, especially on the higher time frames. See, this is the 4 hour. So the longer the people who waited, who knew what was going on, they got paid big for their patience. Okay. Because look at this dump. It just dumped. Okay. When it broke out from this box, Rich, it dropped
Mm,
675 pips, brother. And so now what it's doing is trying to recover some of that, which it recovered half, 355 pips. But at this level right here, it's sitting at the 38.2 Fibonacci. Can it move up to the 50%? It could. It could move up here to the 50% retracement. But is this something worth our time? No. That's what I'm telling you guys. No, I don't see a lot of things that's worth my time.
mm, mm.
Yeah. I
All right.
just, yeah. And
One, one.
I don't want you guys in trades doesn't even have potential. I am in trades, but they have potential. But if they don't have any potential at all, I'm just not worried about them. I'm just moving on.
Okay, one more. What about Swiss
Sure.
JPY?
Swiss JPY, I think that was the same thing because it's still dealing with the Swiss pairs.
Oh,
See, same thing.
mm.
It's Swiss pairs. All these CHFs, they're just,
Luckily I put pending orders
yeah, yeah.
just in
So
case. I said it looks good, but I'm not sure about it. Put up, let me limp in this with a pending order in a low lot size. And when I woke up, it did not activate. So I'm like,
yeah.
all right.
So what, let me ask you this. What were you looking at? Maybe we can go that way. Because what I'm seeing may be not what you were seeing. So what were you looking at? What did
Oh, I
you see?
forgot. I'm using my Mac for this.
Okay.
I just saw I'm looking at Sexy Analyst right now. I just saw the trend line. I saw the blue dot, saw the green daily dot, and that's what I saw right there for a buy setup, but I still wasn't sure about
Okay.
it.
So basically you're looking at just buying off support level. That's what you're
Yeah,
looking at.
yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Okay, gotcha. Understood. Understood. So basically right here at this 38.2 Fibonacci level, you're looking at a support level.
Right.
Okay. So let's go to the 15 minute. If we're gonna do that, do you have an arrow?
Nope.
Okay. And what we're looking at? See?
Just keep it moving.
That's my point. Here's the point. Why am I saying some of the things I'm sharing with you guys about this Forex market? Because this is what I want you guys to avoid. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I went right past these pairs. Why? Because I didn't see any potential in them. And I don't want you guys in a situation where you're trying to force trades that really don't have any potential, and then you end up losing trades because you're trying to get into a trade. It's better not to trade at all than to be in a trade and be in something that's terrible. And this is terrible. This is not even worth your time.
Okay.
It's not even worth your time, brother. You're one of those people who I appreciate have the ability to just, sit out the markets. If you don't see something that's really your type, then just leave it alone. You know what I mean? And this is not it. This is not it. It's not even worth my time entertaining this date because I don't care about all that. This thing can push through because look at this. It's just shooting up. shooting down, shooting up, shooting down. We don't have an arrow on the 15-minute. We don't have we just don't really have anything. We don't. And I do respect, and I see what you're talking about right here, where there is a support level right here at the 38.2, where the price is stalling out, but we don't have any guarantees. So the first thing, if I was to buy off of this support level, just, trading off of support levels, and we can mark that up. So I do see that. All right. So let's mark up some levels. Okay. I'm going to mark that one up and mark that up because I see a price at boom, 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 boom. All right, cool. So we got a couple of levels. I respect that. And then I can mark up this level up here. Okay. All right. So we got some levels. We have that level, and that level. So it can bounce from this level and try to come back up at least halfway to this level in between these two, or it can break down and come down to this level, which will put it at the 50%. Truth be told, that's a long stretch because when we drop to the 15-minute, what do we see here? Absolutely nothing. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't overforce a trade. I took only one trade this week in the Forex market because I have to wait. Now, Dr. Elvis, he did better. He sees things differently from me. So, he took some trades and he's won his trades. But for me, the way I trade, I only seen one or two potentials, and out of the two, I seen three potentials, but I'm so nervous about it. I only took one out of the three. And then I'm like, okay, whatever happens, happens. We're already net positive for the week in the Forex trade. So if mine doesn't work out, it's cool. We're still going to be net positive for the week. But I'm not taking a lot of trades until this settles out because the pairs I like to trade are highly being attacked, which, by the way, almost all of them are. So they're in their attack or instability until this trade war settles out. Now, when the trade war settles out, then things are going to be beautiful. And I just heard that JD Vance, the vice president, met with India and they're striking a deal, which is great because India is a big market and they need us and we love buying their products. Okay. So that's cool for us. That's cool for them. I heard other countries are coming to the table. The problem that's still causing it in this turbulence, Reg, is the biggest one that needs to come to the table is trying to be stubborn like they don't need us. And that's who? China.
China. Okay.
Okay. So when this settles out, then you'll see it settle out. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah, just so once the market calibrates and goes back to normal, it'll be safe again.
There'll be plenty of money made, plenty of money. It's just a waiting game, to be honest with you, brother. That's why I said, hey, I will take a trade here or there, but number one, I'm not going to take a big position. And number two, I'm not going to take a lot of trades because I don't trust the setups. And it's not because, and here's something very important for all traders. Oftentimes, when you find yourself in situations like this, you'll get discouraged because you begin to think, okay, what's wrong with my watch this, watch this, watch this? What's wrong with my strategy? And the truth be told, there's nothing wrong with your strategy. Nothing wrong with your strategy at all. It's the markets. Somebody emailed us yesterday saying, hey, I'm looking to make $1,000 a month. Well, you're in the wrong place. We're not investment bankers. That's not what we're going to do here. Because what happens is you're trying to put an emphatic number that you want to make every single month, disregarding the fact that the markets are crazy. But you guys are professional traders. I don't care who's a professional trader. See, this market has nothing to do with who's professional, who's not. It's volatile. Okay. Every day the market can jump around one way or the other. Are you in agreement with me on that, Reg?
Yes, even you kind of said the key word to me that struck, which was volatile, because even
Yes.
I've got friends who trade just not like the way we do, but when we talk about trading, whatnot, my friends always said trading is a very volatile thing to do, so you got to be careful. The key word was volatile.
Little.
So
Yeah. And,
you
and
kind
this
of
person is trying to still put emphatic numbers. Well, you guys are professional traders. You should be making me 1,000. Hold on, you're in the wrong place, sir. Wrong place.
even I'm
Wrong
like, are
place.
we really? No
Yeah.
offense.
I can't even guarantee myself $1,000 or this and that a month. Every day is different because all it takes is a press release and the market would just go wild. For an example, in the stock market, look what happened yesterday. Yesterday, the market has been dumping, 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 and then yesterday it went up by 1,000 points in a day. In a day, that's not normal in the stock market. So you're trying to tell me and put us in a parameter or a box to say you should be making me this amount of money, exactly this amount of money every single month because you professional traders. Irregard to what you yourself is seeing on the news, sir. You seeing exactly what's going on in these markets. You still, man, you're in the wrong spot, bro. Wrong spot. That's why this is wrong spot, bro. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna bring that foolishness to my team because it's not necessary. I'm not dealing with that stuff because your expectations are unrealistic. Go take a glance at these charts, and any and everybody will know that's not realistic. It's not realistic. We don't guarantee nothing. We can't because look at what we're dealing with. We're doing the best we can, like everybody else is. But if you think you can go get, I told him, hey, if you think, I think you need to go find an investment banker who's going to sit there and lie to you, these Fidelities, and I don't want to say the other name because they'll end up trying to sue me, but all these other people who will promise you a return, hell or high water, no matter what. Why? Because here's what they do. They will take people's money, put it in a whole large basket, and guess what happens? Nobody ever looks at those. Nobody looks at their 401ks and IRAs. Okay, so that's what they're going to do with your money. They know they're just going to send you a quarterly notice, charge you a monthly fee to send you a quarterly notice, and then when your portfolio goes down, what they're going to tell you? Oh well, the markets can be they go up and down, but hold for the what term? Long haul. And people say, okay. Why? Because it's Fidelity, because it's BlackRock, because it's these big companies. So go to them. Go deal with them because they'll lie to you right in your face and they ain't thinking nothing about you and your little small portfolio. You can tell them all you want. They'll say, okay, yeah, sign right here, get that management fee. And then guess what? They're going to send you that letter like they telling everybody else because guess what? They're dealing with the same things we're dealing with too, a volatile market. They just are such a large company. They have their lies down pat. Oh, well, you're here for the long haul. Yeah, you're right. I'm here for the long haul. And you would never think twice about that $1,000 a month. Why? Because you're dealing with them. But you come over here and you think you can determine and tell us what to do. It ain't happening, bro. This is why I was doing this live thing so people can see and I could teach you what to look at.
Okay.
I want people to have realistic expectations. So I'm sorry for dumping all that on you, Reg.
It's all right. It's all right.
You're my brother, bro. I appreciate you. But anyway, with this being said, that's why I passed over all these CHF pairs. Never even glanced at them. Because why? See?
Same thing there.
See? I told you it's going to go up.
There.
It's going to possibly
put a pending order in. Put a pending order in with a low lot size. Still didn't activate.
Yeah, and that's okay. And that's what I appreciate about you. Discipline. Trade with discipline. You can't force these things. You cannot force these things. It's either going to happen or it don't. Small lot sizes so that it doesn't make a difference. And even for me, I don't have a financial target. I don't have financial goals. I don't say, well, I have to make this amount or that amount of money every single month because it's unrealistic. Now, we're always here to make money, but how much of that per day? I don't know. It just depends on what the market does. And I have to be under control because what if the market gives me a losing day? Do I lose control and start over trading because I need to meet my financial goal? It's putting me off target. No, that's unrealistic. And you're going to end up giving back everything the little you did get, you're going to give it all back. Why? Because you have this number set in your head that I have to make this every single month. You better let that go. LIG that thing. LIG, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. We come here humbly and say, God, guide me in the right direction. Help me to make something. And even if it is a bad day, I can come back tomorrow. But I'm grateful for whatever you give. And this is why I'm telling people, hey, you know what? Trade with peace. Just trade with peace. Don't worry about it. Everybody want to quit their job tomorrow. Don't quit your job tomorrow, bro. Let this be something fun, and then you still have your job to have something else to do. So that, hey, by the way, Reg, are you married?
No.
Okay, cool. So if you were, and you want to be a person who's into this arena, let me say it like this. When I was doing marriage counseling and relationship counseling, I always told people, I heard the term, opposites attract. I said that's one of the worst pieces of advice that anybody should be given in the relationship arena. Opposites attract. Why? Because The very thing that attracted you to the person in the beginning will be the very thing that will turn you off as the relationship goes on throughout the years. Because what happens is we're attracted to our opposite because it's opposite. It's new to us. It's fun. It's fresh. It's new. It's exciting. Oh, I've never done these things and this and that. And this person's doing this. But then after a while, we still want the person to revert back to our comfort level of what we feel is comfortable. So a person who has an entrepreneurial mindset, which is traders in the market, entrepreneurial mindset, don't mind taking on risk, you end up dating and getting hooked up with a person who's your opposite. They don't tolerate risk very well. It's like throwing a cat in water. Okay. So when you're saying, well, I'm going to go full time as a full time trader,
Hmm.
and you have your opposite who says, okay, but where's the monthly check going to come in from to pay these bills? Oh, they're not as excited as you. Why? Because they're your nemesis. They're your opposite. You don't mind taking risks, Reg, but the opposite is going to be concerned about taking risks. Why? Because, oh, I married my opposite. It was just so, and see, what was cute in the beginning now has become a deficit to you. Because now every decision you make as an entrepreneur, you got to run it past your opposite who doesn't see the vision. And when they don't see the vision, it causes what? Division in your home. And it's going to be rare that people find a Nancy who says, baby, I trust you. I know you got a track record of doing your thing. I'm not going to worry about it. Don't just do whatever you feel is God put in your heart. It's going to be very rare that you ever find a person like a Nancy. So when you guys are out there dating and looking for people, consider your opposite. Opposites attract. That could work out. I'm not saying it can't, but there's going to have to be a lot of conversations and reassurance if you marry your opposite. If you're a person who likes trading and don't mind taking risks and you marry your opposite, it's going to be problematic. Are you hearing me, brother?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, bro.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you listening to me. All right. Let me take this next hand. All right. Wade, go right ahead. Guys, I'm just spitting game to you guys because I got this class and next week, and that's it for the free classes. I know we've been together for several years now. And so I'm just giving you guys some little nuggets of truth that I picked up all along the way. So Wade, go ahead and unmute. Go ahead and unmute.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Unmuted. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I sure can. How are you?
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Good. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Man, I love the fact that you and your crew love the Lord. That's first and foremost. They pray before they go into trading, which I think is awesome. Jenny is an awesome teacher as well.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's very patient. I've been trading myself for about 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Come on up, Don. I'm on a Zoom. Come on up, buddy. Come on up. That's fine. Just call me, but I'm on the Zoom. I apologize, Uncle Pete.
No, you're fine.
I couldn't hear. So, in any case, like I said, yeah, she's very patient. Now, I've been trading for about 5 or 6 years. Haven't been profitable, but I'm determined to become profitable. And I like your approach, the things that you're doing there. That's why I came on board. I just need to know which direction to take in reference to. I know you're constantly progressing, which I love as well. I know you when I first got involved, it was supposed to have been Tuesdays and Thursdays, Miss Jenny, and Wednesday, I think, yeah, which again, I don't have a problem with either one of you. I love the way y'all teach. So the direction that you're going now, I think you mentioned earlier that Miss Jenny is going to be Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Just for this next 2 weeks. Why? Because what was happening was I've been doing this free class for people for the last several years. And so when we launched Futrix, I decided, okay, I'm going to be, me and Jenny, we're going to co-teach the Futrix program. But I told Jenny, I said it wouldn't be right for me to just cold cut people and just cut them off after several years of us meeting every Wednesday, and I just cut people off and not show up anymore. So I told her, finish out this month, which is only 2 more weeks, where you do all 3 days. Then next month is where I start doing the Wednesdays. So she'll be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'll be doing the Wednesdays.
Oh, that's going to be starting next month, right?
Yes, which is in
Okay.
2 weeks, and we're going to be also launching a Futrix Asian session program, and that one I'll be teaching myself.
Yes, I heard the announcements. So now what you have here on MT5, this is a different platform, or I mean, different strategy, so to speak, altogether from Futures, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So
Oh,
this is the currency markets, and this one here is the futures market, and I'll pull it on screen so you can see the difference. So this is the futures market, and right now I don't see anything exactly what I was telling Reg. I'm not going to force any trades. I don't see what I'm looking for yet, and I'm simply waiting. So that's when I'm talking to y'all. I'm just keeping my eye on here, and if I see something today, I see something. If I don't, then guess what? I'll be coming back during the Asian session. I'm not forcing any trades.
well, that's what I love to you all teachers patience, because that's where they get a lot of us retail traders by
Yep.
being anxious.
Yep.
So like I said, so yeah, I'm new to futures. I've dipped and dabbed in, but never to the point where I really understood. I have a Ninja a Ninja Trader account, which I really never totally understood how Ninja works. I'm still trying to learn
Right.
about that. But basically, I just need a jump start where I did download the your indicator onto TradingView.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to make sure. And again, Jenny's been helping us as much as she can with, doing the live sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but my chart doesn't look like hers, and I just need to be geared in the right directions. She also gave me information about what prop firms to start out with without overwhelming yourself by spending too much, but being able to practice, and not putting out a lot of money first until you become comfortable or confident in what you're doing, which makes a lot of sense. I don't have a problem with that.
Yep. Yep.
Um, I just want to get going in that direction where I can actually start practicing more because say I work night shift, I do security, so I
Gotcha.
can actually be on my computer practicing.
Okay.
So
So
what do you recommend? I know she mentioned a gentleman too, that will do a one-on-one for a fee, which I don't mind paying for his time.
mhm.
Um, I just want to know if you all are going to be able to maybe on the weekend, and again, I'm just asking a question, not trying to change up your program.
No,
Maybe
no.
on the weekend or
Here's
something
what I
where,
suggest to everybody. Because for an example, like I tell everybody, I told Jenny, I'm not going to get into trying to teach platforms and this and that because truth be told, all this junk you see over here, all this stuff, I never even touch it, brother. Never
I
even
heard you
touch
say
it.
that several times.
Don't even need it, brother. You're gonna need to know how to hit this and how to hit this. That's the primary thing is know when to hit this, know when to hit this, and then how to put in a stop loss, which means you're gonna hover over on this side, click the button, and you're gonna put in a stop, and then you click on this side, the plus button, to put in your take profit, which they don't call it take profit, they call it limit orders. Okay. Anytime, so if I was to buy right now, okay. And you're learning. You're learning exactly what you need to know. Okay. This is all you really need to know. So if I was to buy right now, okay, I need to put in a stop loss. So if I was in a buy, you're going to go, what's the opposite of buy?
Sell,
Okay. Now,
sell limit.
all right. So the sell limit is what I'm going to put as my take profit. See? And right here below the entry is what am I going to choose? Buy limit or sell stop?
Sell stop.
Okay, you already know what to do. You already did it. That's it, brother. So if I was to hit the
Okay.
buy button right now, I already got my take profit in and I got my stop loss in. That's nothing more you need to know. That's literally it. That's it. All right, so let's do
My
it.
other
Hold
my
on.
other question was, go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hold on. Let me teach you. Because I'm making it simple. This is what God had told me, brother. I'm being honest with you. Futrix would have been launched over a year ago. But I was in your same shoes, man. I felt overwhelmed. I'm being honest. I felt overwhelmed. I'm like, man, I don't know about all this trading view. I'm seeing, oh my God, what is all this? God told me a year ago. He said, son, I need you to learn trading view. I'm like, oh my God. I'm so used to the MT4. I know the MT4. I done designed programs for the MT4. I done designed indicators, trading systems, bots. I got all kind of stuff. In fact, I got more trading systems available for the MT4 that I never released to the public than the things that I did. I got at least 3 times the amount of indicators I never brought to the public. I could have, but I just chose not to. All right. So hold on. Let's see. See, it's leaping like a frog, baby. It's leaping like a frog. So that means news came out. Some news came out. That's why it spiked. Okay. So now we're just waiting. But let's just say I wanted to buy right here. Okay. I'm going to buy. I'm sorry, sell. So what would I put right here at the top? Limit.
You put a,
Stop.
you put you said you want to buy, correct?
Oh, I'm going to sell this time. Let's say I'm selling. What would I put?
Okay, well, if you want to put a stop loss, it'd be a buy limit.
Okay. You got it. See? Buy, stop. And the take profit would be set as a buy limit.
Yep.
See? Opposite. That's it. That's it. That's it, bro. That's it. That's
So
it.
how do you tie your live counts into these and set up your
That's where the broker can
your
help you with that. The brokers, which a lot of them, they use Tradeovate, and I ask Tradeovate a lot of questions. But in here, you go down here and they'll have all these different brokers, and you just use your login and password. And I won't show mine because it shows my account information. But
right.
if you go down here at the bottom, see mine's just saying Tradeovate, and it has this little dot showing it's connected. They have all these different brokers down there. So as soon as you click this little arrow right here, it'll pull up a whole list of all these brokers. In fact, hold on. Well, no, I
Yeah,
got.
I've seen. I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
So
there.
then after that, you click on the broker that you're using, and then it'll say enter your username and password, and then it's linked together. That's it. Ain't
What
nothing.
about your pairs? Because I understand she was telling us about a certain not the pairs, but your your list that you have over there.
Mhm.
Certain of them you have to make sure you get the correct expiration date in order for them to even
Well,
be
here's the good news. When you're linking this together, and again, this is where you can check with your broker or Tradeovate, which is the normal platform. But typically, when you've connected your Tradeovate account to this, they automatically adjust that for you. So you're going to just put in your symbols, and it's automatically going to communicate with your Tradeovate account to which monthly symbol. That was another thing that kept getting me confused. Okay. I was like, oh my God, this is just too much for me, bro. Oh my God. And then what happened is, as you can see over here, they don't have all these months and symbols. Why? Because in here, it's automatically calibrated for you. It's already done for
oh,
you.
that's awesome because you're right. I was like
Yep.
when I was clicking, I was getting D's besides. She said, "Well, Jay, you got D's besides?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." They said, "Well, those are delayed." So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Well, how's she
That's why I
supposed to
was
know how to?"
postponing, bro. That's why I was postponing. Man, I wasn't doing all that, man. I'm like, and had I known a year ago, bro, had I known a year ago, bro, I would have been went ham on this program a long time ago. I'm a whole year behind. Whole year
Trader
behind.
Vape does
Think
it
I made ten
automatically.
thousand
That's
dollars in less than 48 hours in here, and I could have been
I
doing
mean,
this over a year ago.
I've been keeping up with you. I've been seeing you be slamming them over there.
So
Yeah, you
here's
be
my point.
slamming.
Here's my point, guys. When God tells you to do something, don't let fear and intimidation hold you back, or else the very thing you be asking for, he gives you the instructions on what you need to be doing, but we let our emotions get in the way, and then we've delayed our own blessing for over a year or two, or however long you've been holding back. I hear, and I was having this, and I have to teach a class this Saturday to a group of guys, but I was I'm gonna post up a video of a person. I was just talking. I didn't know they took part of my video and chopped it up, put music to it, and did a thing. I was like so happy about it, schoolboy wise. So I'm so very grateful about that. But um, God never gave a person a chair ever. God has never given a person a chair. But what He did do, He gave them trees. He gave you a resource and a plan. And for those who are bold enough to step out on faith, the moment He tells you to do something, even though it's intimidating, even though it doesn't feel comfortable, I've never done this before, da 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 da. Those are the people who get the blessings. Why? Because he will never just rain manna from heaven. Okay, that was a one-time thing that we're still sitting around praying for a miracle, waiting for the manna to come get and wait for Amazon to drop it off at our door. It doesn't work that way. If you want a blessing from him, he has a concrete routine. He will give you a resource and a plan, and then you have to make something out of it. It's a partnership. God does partnerships. He will give you a resource and a plan. He'll say, okay, here's this, take this and go do this. But God, that doesn't make sense. Do you want to partner with me or not? So he told me a year ago, son, you're going to have to learn TradingView. And I postponed it because it was so intimidating to me. All this contracts. What is a contract versus this and that? What is a buy limit? What is a limit order versus a stop loss? Why don't they just call it a stop loss? And so I was so caught up into what I'm used to with the MetaTrader. And then come to find out, man, when I learned this stuff and simplified it in my way of simplifying it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so simple. I was so intimidated by what is all these things? I got to learn all this. And come to find out, I ain't need none of that for this. God was right. You with me, brother?
Yes, sir, I am. And TraderVate is the way to go then.
Yes. TraderVate or Ninja Trader, it's the same thing. Because even Ninja Trader, the same thing. TraderVate, Ninja Trader, you really, if you connect your account to TradingView, then you're not going to be looking at those platforms at all. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just what you do here, just what I showed you here, what we just did together. That's all you need to know. You're going to take your TraderVate account or your Ninja Trader account, username and password. You're going to plug it in here. And once it's plugged in there, now you're connected. So you really ain't never looking at Ninja Trader. You see what I'm saying?
You just gave me an epiphany. I didn't know Ninja Trader was connected.
Yeah, you can connect your Ninja Trader in here.
Really?
TraderVate is connected in here. See, this is TraderVate. TraderVate. Most of these platforms going to give you an option to use TraderVate or Ninja Trader. Okay. So I just went with TraderVate. Okay. But it's all the same stuff. It's basic stuff. So even if you were to take a trade on Ninja Trader by itself, I'm pretty sure that it's going to do the same thing. You just put in your, as long as you understand what a limit, they call it, they don't call these take profits. They call them limit orders in reverse. So if I buy right here, I got to do a sell limit. That's what I'm going to take profit. So long as you understand those simple terminologies, those four terminologies, if you're in a sell, your take profit is a limit order, reversed, buy limit for a sale. Okay. For a buy, sell limit. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's it, bro. That's it. You don't need to, and you can do that on Ninja Trader. They all do the same thing. You don't have to do it on TraderVate. You can do it right here. You just, bloop, bloop. It's all the same. Because when I do have to use my other account, because I ended up doing it on TraderVate, I was intimidated about that. But then guess what? Last night I was taking trades on this for this broker, but my other broker, I have 4 different accounts with them. Three different 150K accounts with this other one. So I can't keep logging out of this one and logging into this. So I went to my TraderVate. Guess what? They allowed me to connect my accounts with this one broker. All 3 accounts are connected. So then guess what? I would take my trades here and then boop, boop, and then I'll take it over there. And guess what? They had the same thing because they all are fake versions of TradingView. But guess what I did? Hit the plus button on this and put them in and put it in. Seconds. It was seconds worth of work. Nothing intimidating at all. And that's it.
A couple more questions. I'm gonna let you move on to the next person real quick. One is, what do I have to do to be able to be a part of your beta with your automation that you're coming out with for the future?
Let Jenny discuss that.
Okay, you say hit Jenny up for that?
Yeah, hit Jenny up for that. Yeah.
Okay. So can you show me your settings on your TradingView for your future setup there so I can mimic it?
No, because this is not the room for that. Like I said, I'm gonna look guys, I'm up 106, 100, 180, 200, 200, 228, 240, 240, 246. This is gold. I'm on gold. See, it met my rules. So I took it. I'm gonna take this 200 right here or whatever. And I'm done. I'm out. I'm already finished. See, I was sitting there talking to you and I'm already done.
Sweet.
Yeah, but in here, no. But this, like I said, we've been doing so much for people for free for so long, and so all that kind of stuff. That's for our paid members. When you're in there, then and you're a paid member, and we're in the live session, then you can ask Jenny, hey, can you show the settings? But the truth is, all that stuff we'll do for the paid members. I'm not doing any more in here for the free for people for free.
Oh, okay. Am I considered a paid member with what I paid the $97, or is there something additional
No,
I
no,
need to
no.
pay?
Like I said, I don't know why you even in here. You should have been in with Jenny today because yeah, that if you've already joined the Futures program, you should have been in with her because all the questions you're asking, you should
Okay.
have been in there with her because she was been the person to ask. Yeah,
Right. But well, remember that I was going by the original setup you being on Wednesday, but it's no problem.
yeah, yeah.
But sir,
No,
I
no.
appreciate you taking the
It
time
is.
and indulging me.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Next week, make sure you in the room with her. Get that money, bro. Get that money.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my trading view because I'm not my trade. I'm sorry, my Ninja Trader tied in, and
Yeah,
that way I can and sir, not that you're telling me or anybody else for that matter, but what's a comfortable amount that I should start with? I know it all
I never
depends
get
on a
into that
person's spot.
anymore. You know what? I never get into that anymore. Here's my
Yeah,
recommendation to people.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Here's what I'm always recommending to people from here on out. Start with a demo account, and whenever you're comfortable with, you'll know what you feel comfortable with starting with. That's what I'm
Got it.
always going to tell people. That's always my answer from here on. A
That's
couple
a
of
safe
reasons why
answer.
because I don't know people's personal circumstances. I don't know people personally. I don't know what you got going on. I don't know whether like one time I found out we had a retired NBA player in our group, and this. See, I don't know who people are, and I don't really want to know. So some people may be starting with millions of dollars. Some person may be starting with $50. So if I just say, "Oh, you got to start with this amount," who am I? I don't know what you got to start with. So if you start with a demo account and you get the hang of things, number one, you'll feel comfortable because you know that as I'm learning this, I'm not risking any money. I'm using, and in here in the futures market, they call it paper trading. Okay. Over in the Forex market, they call it demo accounts, but in the futures market, they call it paper trading. Again, just different terms, but same thing. So you can start with a paper account trading with a paper account, meaning you risk absolutely none of your money. Once you get the hang of things and you say, okay, I get it, and I'm ready to roll, let's start trading live together, then you decide for yourself whether you want to go with a prop firm or if you want to finance your own self and this and that. You can decide all that stuff for yourself. And therefore,
It's all about building up the confidence in what you know, what you
yeah,
know.
that's exactly right. But I don't want to put my name on none of this stuff. I'm like I said, man, I'm trying to run everything that I did wrong in super easy. I'm reversing that. That's why I'm not having all them Telegram groups, no Discord groups. I'm not having none of that stuff. I'm not over explaining this and that and this. I'm not going to try to be the Mr. Savior of the world or and trying to tell everybody everything you did that. No, because some of this stuff, no, I don't want to be responsible because like I did before. And then when things go wrong, instead of people saying, here's what I could do to take responsibility for my education, he's doing this, but at least I can step up. No, by me coming in and trying to be the be all end all for everybody, trying to be helpful. And when things go wrong, guess who get accused of things or get blamed for things that had nothing to do with me at all. And no, man, I'm not doing
Exactly.
it this time. I'm
I,
just coming
I
in.
to-
I'm going to trade. Y'all see me just close out a gold trade, it could have been, to be honest with you, brother. If I was using if I was using big boy, and you're going to hear me say this all the time. Okay. And I'll share this last thing and then let's roll. Okay. Because I got to get these other hands. You're going to hear me make it simple because this is another thing that screwed me up. Okay. Held me back because I'm hearing it saying, okay, well, these are the minis and these are the micros. What the heck are y'all talking about, bro?
right,
What?
right.
What? Why can't you just say this is standard lots, this is micro lots, like they do in Forex? This is a different world. They use different terms. So here's what I called it. I did what Uncle P normally does. I took what they said, got the understanding, and I said, I'm gonna make it my own way. This is the big boys. This is the little boys. How you know little boys? Because the little boys are mini me's. Okay, this is the big me. This is the mini me with the M. So it's the same exact pair, except for these are the big boys or standard lots. These are the micro lots in Forex. Okay, this is a standard lot 1.0, 1.00, and this is a 0.10 lot size. It's going to trade exactly the same. It's going to look exactly the same, except for if you got a small account, you want to use the mini me's. Okay, use the mini me's with the M, mini me's. Okay, if you got a bigger account, then you can play with these. Okay, so now look at this. I didn't feel 100% confident in this. So even though I have a big account, truth be told, I used the mini me. So you just see me close out $200 right in front of you, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Technically, if I would have used the big boy, this is the same thing. Look, watch this. Gold futures. Now I'm gonna click on the M, the mini me. See? Gold futures, but it's the tiny version. See?
Uh,
See that? That's their way of
that's a
saying,
very good way to put it.
you feel me, dog? You
Uh,
feel me? See? This
yeah,
is what I'm
I was
teaching y'all.
confused with
Keeping
that
it
too.
simple.
Micro,
Keeping it
mini.
simple. Yeah, just use mini me. So if you even if you have a big account, but you're just like, man, I don't know, this market kind of shaky, shaky, shaky. Okay. This was my target, but guess what? I'll take what I can get because why? Even in the futures market, it's still shaky. It's shaky. So you see me close out a winning trade right in front of you. But even with my big account, which is over 160,000, okay. So we already did over $10,000 on it. But the market right now, look at, and who was I right? Look at this. Took my money and scattered up out of there. And look what happened. It's pulling all the way back already. Who was right? See what I'm saying, bro? So since I didn't feel confident, all I did was I took a couple of mini me's, got a couple of $100, and that's that. If I would have did it with the big boy, I would have actually made about $1,000 on the exact same pair.
Right, right.
But
Okay.
what I do like now that is different from Forex, in Forex, some people, especially people who's just starting out, they would put in the wrong lot size. They would put in 1.00 lot size thinking it was a small version and come to find out they blew their account up. And here they make sure you don't make that mistake because they put an M in front of it to make sure if you're having a small account, use the mini me's. Okay. Here's the big me. Here's the mini me. You can't make a mistake because as soon as you ain't got that M in front, you know you're playing with big money. Okay.
But I like the way you put it, big boy and little boy, because
Big boy,
the
little
M,
boy.
what was getting me confused was the M micro or mi or the
Micros and minis, bro. That was confused. I'm like, God, what did you got me going into? And now you understand why I disobeyed. Well, it's not really disobedience. It was me not receiving the blessing I could have had. Why? Why? Because I was intimidated. Because as an entrepreneur, I'm used to new things all the time. I'm used to doing new things. But this was a little too much for me. It was really too much for me. Or was it?
well, you got it down pat now, and I
You know
appreciate you.
why? Let me say this
The
to you before you go. Let me say this before you go. I decided one day I'm going to obey what God is talking about. In fact, here's the truth. And it was ringing in my head yesterday. I was thinking about nephew. I need to contact him, hit him up. So some of you guys seen me being interviewed on this guy named Calvin. Calvin, who does interviews, he interviews some of the top traders on the planet. Okay. And I remember contacting him and saying, hey, bro, I'm gonna want to give you this free service. You know, we launching this and this is a free service and you don't have to pay for it. I just want to say thanks, nephew, because, you know, for interviewing me, not once, but twice. Most of the people he interviews, they only get interviewed once. I'm one of the rare people who was asked to be brought back on and interviewed twice. So I said, hey, we launched a new service, bro. I'm calling him up. Hey, man, I want to, you know, give this to you for free. And he said politely, like he's a polite guy. He said, thank you now. Thank you, uncle. But he said, man, I'm trading futures now. I'm like, okay, man, hold on, hold on. And so what I started doing was I started investing my time into studying underneath some of the largest futures traders on the planet. The Mamba FXs, Juvir, and I can go Patrick Whelans and so forth and so forth and so forth. And then what I did to learn the platform, brother, all I did was go on YouTube and I watched a couple of YouTube intro videos, and that was all I did. So that's why I'm upset with me because this I could have done and helped a lot of you guys over a year ago. But because of my intimidation, the blessing that could have went for everybody got held up because of me. And I don't feel good about that. I don't like that. So next time I know, regardless of how intimidated even I am, let me just thrust in, get it down packed, and get it done. And here's the other thing I don't like. I hate procrastination. Do you know, bro, I procrastinated on learning TradingView for over a freaking year, only to find out that I had it down packed in about a week.
Hmm,
A
that's
whole
God. That's God. And you know what? Just words of encouragement to your uncle. And I know we are our own worst critic, but you know, as we are Christians, we know that we thank God that we have a forgiving and an understanding God.
Yeah. But what I'm saying to you, brother, and this is what the takeaway I want you to understand. quite often we're praying for things that will require our input. And we keep waiting on God, thinking that He's not answering. He's saying, and Dr. Miles Monroe said this, he said, why would God give you another instruction if you ain't followed the last one? So it's
Amen.
kind of like if you're in your car, the navigation is turned on to give you guidance, but pay attention to how that navigation works. If you are sitting at a stoplight or if you pull over on the side of the road, the navigation has nothing more to say to you. Why? It will only talk to you when you're moving forward.
Man, that's a very good analogy.
Okay? Brother, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. You stay blessed, sir. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Let me get to Liz. Liz, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, good morning, Uncle P.
Yes. Hi.
How are you?
What's up, Liz? Hey.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Everything is going well. I'm
Good.
understanding all the classes. But
Good.
you said since you got some questions, I
Yeah.
better get all of these little wrinkles ironed out, you know?
Oh, bring it.
Okay, I wrote them down. I always get nervous. But okay.
Brother, girl, you ain't gonna worry about that.
So, on the platform for the Futrix, I have everything set up. I've got the indicator on the charts.
Mhm.
And my first question is, I did upgrade my trading view so that I can have a few more indicators
Okay.
and stuff. So I did that.
Sure.
And the first question I have, I love the way your chart is set up for futures. So I
Mhm.
want to imitate that because
Mhm.
it's very clear and plain to see.
Yes.
So I see you have that EMAs, like the 4 EMAs on
Mhm.
your trading view.
Mhm.
Is that something that comes from trading view? What is
Like I
that?
said, all of those questions, we're in the public. This is the free class, and I'm not
Okay.
getting no more free stuff.
Okay.
No more. Once you're in the play session, then
I can ask you then.
yeah, come on, girl, you know,
Okay.
yeah, I ain't giving up because you know what people gonna do, and they've been doing this.
Mhm.
They don't want to pay us not even $8 a class. You see me just make $200 in front of y'all.
Yes.
$200, okay, with the mini boys. In a matter of minutes, I made that. Do you know people have a problem paying us that little cheap $97 a month, which is 12 classes, which equals out to $8 a class, and they will refuse to pay us that. But they want us
Right.
to tell them everything that we're doing. They no, we did how, and the question is, what is our value? You know what I mean? And so you're not one of those because you've been with us, rocking with us for years. But Liz, you've seen some stuff along with us. You family. You know we have seen some stuff together over the years in this. And me and Jenny and my team, we're just tired. We're just tired of it. You know what I mean? So any detailed information about the setups, indicators, settings, and this and that, we're saving that for the people who think you guys are worth $8 a day, like $8 a session. It's only $97 a month. So if we're worth it, then we'll tell you. If you don't think we're worth it, we ain't got nothing to say. That's the way it is.
Okay.
But you good. Don't worry about this is not direct to you. You good since you've been my sis for years. So once we live in class, we good. Or what I'll do, uh yeah, just wait till we live in class and I'll go over
Yeah,
everything.
I could wait
Yeah.
until
Let's do that.
we're
Let's
in
do
a
that.
setting to where
Yeah.
I could ask about the charts,
Yeah.
especially the Futrix chart,
Yeah.
because that's where I'm at now.
Trust me, I'm going to go over and I'm going to go. And when you see what I'm doing, there ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Sometimes I take that off anyway. I don't really need it. It's not really needed. It don't.
Right. But that one indicator I used with some of my other charts before in the
Mhm.
past.
Yeah, yeah. But like
So,
I
and
said,
it works
for
very
all
well.
that, trust me, I got you, sis. I got you. I'm just not doing it on the free platform no more. Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Okay, so I don't know if I can ask the rest then.
Um,
I had the next question was on your future chart again,
mhm,
because I'm in the setup phase
mhm,
and I'm just taking my time learning, going over the videos, making notes and everything.
mhm,
It's going pretty well.
mhm,
When you had your Futrix chart up
mhm,
and you seen the ticker symbols over to the right margin with
mhm,
your minis and micros,
mhm.
that feed is coming from your uh like whatever broker you chose.
That is correct. Yeah. So basically, if
Okay.
you do it on your own, if you're trading on your own personal account, then they typically will charge a little small nominal fee a month for the feed. And that's another thing that was different from the Forex market. Forex market, the data is the data, that's that. The brokers were making their money. Don't think it was free. The brokers were making their money on the spreads. So that's where the spreads were coming from,
Right.
they make their money and that help pay the data feed over here. Over here, if you're with a prop firm, they charge a small monthly fee, okay? And that
Okay.
covers, you know what I mean, to get access to the CME data, okay? Which is fine. It's pennies on the dollar, that's nothing, you know what I mean? So that's included with your monthly fee if you're with a prop firm. However, if you're with doing it on your own, then TradeAvate or TradingView, they'll charge you a little small fee. I think it's like $12 or something. I don't even know. I forgot what it was, but it was nothing much at all.
Right. So, because I'm at a crossroads now, because I realized TradingView for the small fee
Mhm.
can you can get some of those. Or if I choose a broker like Blue Guardian, Take Profit, whoever, I can get them there as well. So I'm trying to
Well,
choose.
yeah, hold on. Let's be clear. If you're trading
So
on your
I'm confused.
okay, yeah, clear, cool. Good. That's a good question. I can address that one because I had that same
Okay.
question. What happens is, um, with the futures market, futures market prop firms, they're different. Okay. And what I mean by that is, when you pay for a prop firm challenge over in the Forex market, you pay one time and they charge a lot, but you pay one time, right? But that fee
Right.
covers everything. In here, they charge you a lot less, but they charge a small monthly fee. And that small monthly fee is also going to include your data feed in there. So whether you're
Okay.
doing it yourself or through a prop firm, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Because just mirroring you all, looking over your shoulders,
Mhm.
I want to try to get into the prop firms, and I'm learning pretty good through your educational program here. And so I figure I might as well just go ahead and get into one of the prop firms and start practicing
Yeah,
on
and that's where Jenny comes
on a
in.
micro account.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
part of the Futurix program, which I believe you are, then drop into class tomorrow, and that's where Jenny comes in. Because as a company owner, I will not discuss at all. I will tell you who I'm using, but I will not endorse anybody. But Jenny's independent, so she has recommendations for you guys on brokers and prop firms, and she has discount codes and all that stuff. So drop into class tomorrow with her and just ask her. The questions you're asking about that stuff. Yeah, just ask her. She's plus on top of that, to be honest, she's been doing this for longer than me, and so she's very, very knowledgeable of that subject matter. So when I used to work at Bank of America, we used to use the term they call them a SME. A SME is a subject matter expert. That's what the SME stands for, SME. So she's a subject matter expert. For me, I'm not a subject matter expert in this. What I'm trying to help you guys to see is here I am making a boatload of money in a short amount of time, and I don't know half this stuff. And truth be told, now that I'm doing it, I don't even want to know half this stuff because it's going to clutter my head up. And I ain't trying to go back to where it took me years in Forex because I was so cluttered up to find how simple things could be. Here, it's kind of like a fresh start. Keep everything simple. It's just exactly how I
Right.
traded in front of that brother. You're going to hit that buy or sell button. You're going to click the plus button and click the plus button, but everything is done within, you can get your job done in less than 1 minute. And that's all I need to know. All the other stuff, I'm trying to tune it out. However, we do have somebody who's very, very knowledgeable who can help guide you guys, which is Miss Jenny. She's extremely knowledgeable on this stuff. She's been doing it for a long time. And for those who are advanced, who like marking up charts and using these tools and all that kind of stuff that's on the side, the carrot and all that stuff. That's why I say carrot. You see that little carrot? Oh, what the heck?
But Uncle P,
See,
Miss
that's
Jenny's doing a good job. Yes. But I had a question for you as
sure.
far because can I ask who are you using? That's what my
Yeah,
question
of course
was.
you can. Yeah, you can ask that.
Okay.
Remember what my rule is. I'll tell you who I'm using,
Yes.
I am not saying to use them. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just doing my
Right.
research and then
So
from
who
there.
I'm using is two different ones right now, and Jenny has discount codes for them. So if you decide
Right,
to go with them, go through her so you can get the discounts. Okay.
right.
So I'm using Tradeify, and I have three accounts with them, and I have Take Profit Trader.
That's it.
Okay.
That's the one.
Now here's the deal.
Okay.
Okay. Take Profit Trader pissed me off because y'all
Okay.
seen several weeks ago when I had passed the prop firm challenge, right? And it was
Okay.
application. I'm like, oh, nigga, I know y'all didn't just scam Uncle Peasy. That's the wrong thing to do. Don't, because I done sat here and did live videos showing me passing no challenge. And then as soon as I
Right.
passed, y'all ain't got nothing to say. Y'all done cut me off. Here, what the problem was. The problem was
Okay.
they're one of the easiest ones to pass because a
Uh-huh.
lot of the restrictions and rules that a lot of them have, Take Profit Trader took off. They said, no, we ain't tripping off all that stuff. Consistency rule, we ain't tripping off all that. Make your money, make your money. Because a lot of them,
Okay.
they call consistency rule. You can only make a certain amount per day. And if you go past that, then they make you trade longer before you can do withdrawals. All these little tinky tink rules, Take
Yeah.
Profit Trader took them off. They said, man, we ain't tripping off all that. When you pass, bro, look, here's the thing. Make your bread so we can get
That's
fed
what
too.
I'm talking about.
Right? That was a problem though. Because what
Oh.
happened was they weren't scamming. They got so much business at one time until their staff weren't ramped up with staff wise. And so
Mm.
therefore they had to go through a growing pain. And so now it seems like that growing pain is over. Their communication is very nice now at this point. And they set me up right. They say, hey, we apologize for all this stuff and da 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 da. And they got me all set up right. And so I'm good to go now. I'm good to go.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
And
I'm just telling you. That's why I
Mhm.
don't endorse them because guess what? If I would have said, hey, go with this broker, and then you would have had that experience, what would have happened? Uncle P, no, man. And see, there you go. Instead of contacting the company, people would have came to
Right.
Uncle P. I don't want that noise. I don't want that noise. I don't want it. I don't want it. I do
And
not.
it's all a part of learning. So
Yep.
I wouldn't take it out on you and
No,
people
you
shouldn't,
wouldn't.
but yeah.
Liz, you've been in Super Easy for a long time, girl. You know doggone well. Come on now, sis. You know how them people are. I'm like,
For
man, I don't.
sure.
Mm-mm.
And,
With
and my
Futrix,
last
let me say this real quick. It's like with this
okay.
Futrix company, because I could have put the futures program under Super Easy, but it was kind of like I wanted to do hit a reset button and just start fresh, act like this is all brand new. And everything that
Right.
I did to cause myself heartache and pain in Super Easy is exactly the opposite of what I'm going to do. So in other words, I did my own quote unquote, and don't get mad at the term, but I did my own Doge on my own company. I said, okay, I'm gonna start with a whole different company and start fresh. And what went wrong? And part of that was all these social channels over explaining things that would really had nothing to do with just trying to be nice and this. And then I got held liable for things that had nothing to do with us at all. And So I'm just like, you know what? Not with future. We're gonna be a clean, simple trading program, clean,
Mhm.
simple program, and that's it. Let's make this bread and we up out of here. Make sense, sis?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I had one more question,
Sure.
Uncle.
Hmm.
Let me see. You said the Tradeify. How do you spell that? Just I'm doing my research
Yeah,
today on different
trade if
ones.
just trade if Y.
If okay. There you
Trade
go.
if Y. That's how I spelled it because I was getting confused myself. So trade if Y. So trade if Y. That's how you spell it.
Okay. I don't know if I can ask this question, but this is the last one.
Sure. You can
Now I
ask.
was
You may not
setting
be
up
able to
my
answer.
okay. Now I was setting up my charts
Okay.
and I got the Futrix indicator on the charts in trading view.
Okay.
And I was just fooling around with it, making sure, just checking out everything. And I noticed that it also tracks those Forex pairs as well. It does the same
Yes, it
thing.
does.
I
However,
noticed that.
there's a reason I
Mhm.
don't trade Forex in here. Because the brokers, when you're dealing with prop firms, they will send you a list of what you can and cannot trade.
Right.
And if they don't have it on their list, don't waste your time on it. That's the
Right
reason why.
now. Now
Yep.
I wouldn't do that if I had a prop firm attached to it,
Yes.
but just
If,
on its own,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just monitoring it, not even trading, I noticed it was tracking.
Yep.
and I said, oh, maybe I could use it just to see when something lines up, just site checking it,
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I got all my questions asked.
Yeah. But
Thank
keep in
you.
mind, they don't do, I mean, you could, I'll just leave it at it. Yeah, you could. You could do it. Hmm.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle P.
You're welcome, sis.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too. You too. Good talking to you always. All right. Let's take the next one. Dale, you're up next.
Hello,
Hey,
Uncle
Tonya.
P.
Hey, now. Hey, Tonya. Hey, Robert. Robert, yeah, you can type your question in. I'll try to catch you.
Okay, Uncle P.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch bases with you and just to say God bless you, my brother. I joined up with a Super Easy probably about 3-4 years ago, and this was I think probably one of the first groups that I ever been a part of, and I just wanted just to tell you, God bless you, my brother. What I learned from you over the years, I still use that today. I
Amen.
mean, every time I get on the to trade, I still remember the SpongeBob SquareHead,
Yeah.
Stairmaster, and coming back to the party spot and all of that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I still use all of that. And I tell you, just bless your heart, my brother. I'm from here in Dallas, so when I get to hearing you say about all of the where you lived at here, and you get to
Yep.
talking about things like Minnie's Pantry and all
Yeah.
like that, and you're talking about like the Bank One building in downtown. I used to deliver packages to you. I know you don't remember me, but way on back in the day. And so, I just really just thank the Lord for everything that I've learned. My schedule has just kind of changed, so I don't get a chance to tune in as much as
Yeah.
I did before. But just what I've learned from you, just the insight, not only from just from trading, but just the good practical information that you have given out. And then also too, I still use the simplicity system. And then also I'm starting to kind of get into the futures now. And
Yeah.
so
By the way, wait. While we talking, see, look, I'm up 355. While you were talking, I just entered this trade. I'm
all
up 400
right.
right now. See,
Good.
see.
Yeah, that's running good too.
Yeah, like I said, see, that's why I say I can talk to y'all and be doing this at the same time.
Yeah.
Get the
Gotta make
bread.
that money.
Get the bread. Just go ahead and get the bread, get the bread.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. But I tell you something, I'm just really just glad for all that I've learned over the years at Super Easy. So I know that last week I heard that you said you kind of phasing this out and going
Yes.
to the other program. But I just wanted to say, thank you just for
I
being such a
appreciate you,
blessing to
man.
me. And like I said, I wouldn't be where I am today trading. I'm like, for the most part, all I trade now is just indexes. I started out with the Forex, but I wouldn't be able to be as effective as I am trading indexes if I hadn't learned just the fundamentals and the basics, from you just on the Forex pairs and how to do that. And with you and Jenny and I just really am so glad that I came across you. And you just be encouraged there, my brother. And we're definitely gonna be praying for you. That the new program that you're starting out is gonna be great. If I get a chance to, I'm gonna try to maybe to sign up for that. Here again, like I said, I mostly just kind of focus in on indexes now. And
Yes.
that's been running real good for me for about the last few years and everything. But I really just look forward to some great things just happening with Super Easy. Also, too, now of course, I got the lifetime membership with Super Easy. Now, are you just phasing that all out completely now, or
But
just?
like I said, the only thing these free classes I've been doing for the last several years, it's not that's what I'm phasing out. I'm not doing that anymore. So for an example, if we're in there, we're in the live class over there in Futrix on Wednesdays, and somebody may have a question on trading those, we can still chop it up about it. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just instead of doing this free and live for free, it'll be part of the Futrix program, so we can still do the same thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not that big of a deal.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, and I tell you, many of the indicators that you use, of course, I'm still using that, and they've been a
Mhm.
great benefit to me. So, I always try to recommend people if they ever want to learn how to trade. Definitely some of the
Yeah,
fundamentals and the basics of how to trade. Hands down, this is probably one of the best groups that I've ever been a part of, and I've
I
ever
appreciate
just, especially like with yourself and your personality, being patient with people and just being nice and thorough, how you go into everything, how I've been blessed. And I know I got like my nephew, I think he's starting to get into Forex. And so I've been trying to recommend him, and maybe my sister-in-law and them, they
it.
trying to get into it as well. And so, just keep up the good work, my brother.
Yeah, I
That's all I
appreciate
can
it.
say. Just keep it
And
up,
keep
man.
in mind, guys, we still have the refer three, get yours free program. So every month, if you refer three people, yours will be free. You don't have to pay for it. What happens is your monthly payment subscription will be reimbursed back every month. So keep that in mind.
Amen. Okay. Yeah. Well,
And
I will.
that's for the Super Easy Copycat and for the Futrix program. So whichever one you choose, we're still doing that as well.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
I
Well,
appreciate
I
it.
tell you, again, thank God for you and for Elvis and Jenny and Scott, even with the works there with Jenny, and you guys have just been such a blessing to me. So, I'm praying for you there, my brother. And that's from my heart. That's really from my
I
heart, man.
sure
I love
appreciate
you,
it, brother. I
and
love you, bro.
hopefully,
Thank you
no
so much.
telling if you ever come back here to Dallas or out here in North Dallas where I live at or something like that, maybe I might get a chance to run into you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
All right. God bless you then.
Same to you. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's go to Derek.
What's going on, Uncle P?
All right, what's going on with you, bro? What's popping?
Man, hey, I got on that gold and on that 3 minute, and it clicked out. I said, big baby.
Told you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's beautiful, bro, to have best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Man,
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I appreciate all the years I've been with you. You've been my coach, your family.
yeah, man.
Man, I done kick my real biological people out and put you in. You and Auntie Nancy, because when you did that video and she started like talking in the background and cheering you on and she into it, I'm like, you're very effective, man. God really sent his spirit through you to bless people. But when Auntie Nancy started talking, I had to look behind my shoulder. I'm like, when you start talking.
She loves being incognito. Brother. I married a beautiful person, bro. I'm telling you, marry right. And even if you're married in a bad situation, you can still turn around and just call. You just need a little humility. But I married the right. I married very well. I married very well. She's a beautiful woman, but she just likes to be incognito. She's one of those. She's the one who taught me to live calm and to tone it down. It was because of her, that I learned how to prioritize using money, not to use it on stuff so much. It was her. It was her. So I'm very grateful for her. So she's used to seeing things, but since this is brand new and I'm teaching it to her, leaving a legacy for her, for her to have seen it, how and she can comprehend it, and she was so excited because there's a lot of this stuff is for her account. This for her. It ain't for me. I ain't worried about it. I don't need it. But this is specifically for her, So building these accounts, and all summer long, we're just going to be we're going to redo her office and get her a couple of screens so that while she's helping the people that she helps, she's going to be able to sit over here and she's going to be trading the futures market as well on her screen. Since it only take minutes, as you see, it doesn't take long, man. It just doesn't take long at all.
Man, yeah, that's your rock, man. And I feel what you're saying, man. You got dumb, excuse my language, you got dumb ass dummies coming in here, like you saying, calling you niggers and just being hateful, don't want you. That ain't nothing but Satan trying to get your money. And then you really angry now because you phasing this out and going to future, to the Futrix, like, us originals like Liz. What's up, Liz? a couple more people. And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I'm like, so I just follow you, man. I'm like, forgetting. And I did a Doge on my tip too. I had the downside. Like I looked at funding traders, they futures. I seen something this morning, man. They talking about because of operational costs, they finna jack up their subscriptions, man. I don't know if you seen that.
I ain't paying
And
attention. Yep. That's why I don't, that's why I'm not, that's why I prefer to let somebody who's uh an independent have that discussion with you guys as far as brokers, prop firms, and this and that, so that, hey, as the company owner, I'm not under any consequence, because that's my point. At the time when I'm speaking about these companies and me dealing with them, you guys know I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. So at the time when I'm dealing with them, yeah, they could be doing very well. But then, like you just said, all of a sudden something happens and then they switch up. And for whatever reason, I don't know why people do this. Instead of contacting the actual company, they turn on me as if I'm the person. And all I did was, you asked for a referral. I sent you a referral. I told you who. So that's why I'm just like, I'm just out of that. I don't want none of that stuff. All that stuff, bro, that's part of the Doge program. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. You know what? Like Liz, she asked me who I'm using. I'm going to tell you who I'm using, but I'm not referring anybody, because if anything goes wrong, take it up with them. You act like I work there. You act like, now, don't get me wrong. It's almost daily, and it has been for a very long time, daily, companies hit me up in my super easy email asking to do a partnership, including Levi, jeans, and all this. And I've never done a partnership. Prop firm match, they contacted me several months ago, like 6 months ago, wanting to do a partnership. Hey, let's do a partnership. I told them no, I don't do partnerships, because I don't want to be held responsible for anything that y'all do in your company. You try to use my name and my brand to build up your reputation, but then you sit up there and don't consult me if you make changes. It would be nice if you say, okay, well, since you're partnering with us, if we are true partners, you should be telling me when you do an update, so that if things go wrong, I can update the people and say, hey guys, they're, like you just said, D, hey, they're about to make these changes, guys. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware. That's how the partnership should work. They don't do that. They just want your name and your brand to promote their stuff. And then they get there and start doing whatever they want to do behind the scenes. And then I'd be like, Uncle Pete, you said to use him. You said you. I ain't into all that, bro. You miss me with all that. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of it.
for real, because I'm telling you, I got like about 4 houses left with the Forex side and Elvis trading them.
Yep.
If I break a rule, whatever, man, I'm done with them. I'm on this side, and
Yeah.
for real. And one more question. On the Futrix side, I've been playing with the trading view, because I got the the instrument and everything. But the thing is, the trouble I'm having is, like, you see how you be on the videos, you be setting your stop loss, your stop limit, and I've been having problems with that, because when I do it, and I'd be like, damn, excuse me. And then when I try to go in and do it, it's just crazy. So I don't know if you can hear that, show me how you do it in this class, because like you're saying, you tired of giving out free stuff, and I don't blame you, man. But I'm just asking, if you can you show me how you do it on your trading view?
Yeah. So let me take a trade real quick. All right, let me take a trade, and I'll show you real quick.
I appreciate it.
All right. So let's say I'm finna take a trade right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's say, and these markets are choppy too. So I'll just take.
Very choppy. Benny Hanna.
Yep. Good one, bro. That's a good one. All right. So watch this. So I'm gonna put my stop loss in. So I just bought. I hit the buy. What's the opposite of buy?
Sell.
So everything I'm about to do is going to be sell. Okay.
Right.
So up here, I'm going to put remember, you got to hover next to this numbers. Okay.
Okay.
Up here, not over here. So yeah, I can put it right here, but the plus button is over here. So you're always going to be right over here, and just wiggle your mouse to where you want it. Right.
Okay.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to hit the plus button.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at these down here. Okay.
Okay.
All this is just asking, do you want to add alerts? No, I don't. So I don't care about none of that. So I'm looking at this. Do I want to put in for my take profit? Am I going to put in a sell limit or a buy stop or a buy limit? Which one of these three?
You gonna if since you're in a buy, you gonna put in the sale limit for the take profit, right?
Bingo. See? Now, I'm going to put in my stop loss, okay, which is below the price. So I'm going to
Okay.
hit the plus button. Remember, these are all alerts. Ignore it. We're looking right down here. Which one of these I'm going to choose?
You're gonna do the your sale stop, right?
And there you go. You just learned that.
Now,
That's
when
it.
when you enter it, you just went on and used the manual. You just went over to the
Yeah,
buy. You hit the
right,
blue button for the buy. But
right.
when you go ahead and set your limit and your stop,
So you
when
can
it
do it right
say,
here as well. You can do the same thing here. So watch this. You can do, let's say you're doing a buy.
yep,
All right. So let's say, let's do a sale. Okay.
okay,
All right. Let me do this. Take that off. All right. Let's say that this is topping out because it has gone up quite a distance. And let's say it's going up.
yes,
So I go on here and click on limits. Okay. I click
okay,
on limit. And this is your bracket orders. They call these brackets. You can go here and you can slide your stop where you want it and slide your take profit where you want it.
mm,
And then you hit market and hit sell. And voila, it's there.
mm.
See?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's not hard. That's why I was telling the other brother. I spent years, I spent a year postponing this because I was intimidated because of the platform instead of just doing what God told me to do. And if I would have did what he told me to do, all this stuff was dirt simple. Okay. So that's another way of doing it. I start with a limit order, put everything in place, and then after that, I hit to the actual one, the market order, and hit execute after I have everything in place that I want.
Okay. After you enter the trade, like you said, you could like you can enter the trade by going over there and just doing that like that, right?
Yeah. So like I said, all I do is go here. You got your brackets. They also have something called a DOM. I have never learned how to do a DOM. They have this. You can YouTube it and figure that out, but I've never learned how to do it. I know a lot of people use this because it's faster, where you just get in and get out, but I've never done it because I always use stop loss and take profit. So I don't understand. That's why I said, man, you're talking to a person who's making money in this, and I don't even have a clue. I don't have a clue about half the stuff in here, and yet I'm still doing it. So I don't want people coming in overcomplicating it, thinking you have to know all these different things in order to trade it. I know the bare minimum, and that's more than enough for me. So if you want to take a trade, right? Okay, so you just decide. I start with the limit order.
Mm-hmm.
Give me my brackets. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it give me my brackets. Let me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm taking losses, but and this is
I'm
my,
sorry.
but it's no, don't worry about it. It's pennies. We'll make that back. So anyway, so if I'm going to take a sale right here, okay,
Mm-hmm.
if I only go right into the market, see, it doesn't give me, you can do this, hit this and manually put in them numbers. See, and okay, well, I'm gonna put in, I want my stop loss to be right here at 19 to this. See, you don't have to, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But best way, hit the limit order. And it tells you right here, if it comes up here, this how much you're gonna lose. If it comes down here, this how much. And then you just adjust these. Okay, you can adjust it. I want
Okay.
that to be right there and that to be right there. So if I lose,
Okay.
I'm gonna lose 217. If I win, two that. And then when I'm ready to hit it, I'll go to the market and hit sell. And look, everything is already in place. And look, I'm up $37 already. 47.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna take that money and I'm done. See?
You know what? That DOM, I thought that DOM was for that means damn, man.
Yeah, I have. Hey, one of my mentors, like I said, I did have a lot of mentors when I was learning this. I had a lot of mentors when I was learning this. So it's not like it's something I just decided, well, I'm gonna start up. No, I had a lot of mentors, lots of them. And I even have one, he has a cold indicator. But for what you guys need to know, you don't need all that. You know what I mean? But I really was quietly behind the scenes studying this. And a lot of them, he does use the DOM, where you can just click right here, click in right here, and then cancel all orders or flatten or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I've seen him use this, and this is what he uses. But for me, I just like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it because I like to have my stop loss and take profit in there. So either I can manually just hit this plus button and put it where I want, or start with a limit, put your brackets where you want them. And then when you have exactly what you want, click over to market and hit that button, and it'll automatically have everything in just like that. So that's another way of doing it.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I love you, man. You my motherfucking guy. Excuse my language. You my guy, man. I ain't lying, man. If it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for you,
what I'm trying to do, D, is I take things and go through the rigor of trying to learn as much as I can before opening my mouth to the public about anything, so that when I tell you guys, I can simplify your understanding so that it's the same thing like with Forex market. You remember I told you guys my journey was terrible. I'm not gonna lie, man, it was terrible. It wasn't fun. My journey in the Forex market, it wasn't fun at all. It really wasn't. It was just too much. And that's why I started Super Easy, to try to make it super easy for you guys doing free classes, so I can do things that the other people wasn't willing to do. They weren't willing to do this. They weren't going to sell their indicator one time and then do free classes for years. They weren't doing that. They weren't, because they didn't care. They just want the sales of the indicators or their trading system. And I have no problem with that. A lot of people, oh, they just assume this. Hey, this business. You don't say that if you go to a car dealership. All they want you to come in to buy a car. What are you complaining about? So if a person starts a business in this arena, that's why they treat you just like they do preachers. They want the preacher to show up for my funeral, show up for my wedding, counsel my family. Said you do all this, but if you ask for an offering, then you're a con man. Now, nigga, please stop. Lord, forgive my tongue. But you understand what I'm saying? I don't like that stuff. But you got too many people who want everything for free, and the moment you charge for your services and for your knowledge, then you're a scam. But as long as you're doing everything for free, they ain't got no problem with you. You cool with them. In other words, let me suck the blood out of your life for free, but don't you charge me for the flavor. See, I don't like that kind of stuff, man. I don't like it. So anybody who came in here who was building indicators and selling their system, oh, if you was really a successful trader, then why are you selling your system? I got so sick and tired of all that foolishness, bro. Tired of it. It doesn't make no sense. You don't say that to Elon Musk. Oh, he thought of how to build a Cybertruck. Oh, well, why he charging me for a Cybertruck? What do you think? It's a car. You gonna pay for his knowledge. You gonna pay for it. Oh, so he's supposed to just give his trucks away for free because, oh, he came up with it, so he need to be giving me a free car. And just kooky. But what I am gonna do, I'm gonna make it reasonable so that anybody who finds value in what we do, we'll make it reasonable for you, so that nobody can complain about price. I'm not price gouging. Like I said, Juvier, y'all can go look him up. I love the young man. Very respectable young man. Very nice. Love is funny. His wife is funny. She's so innocent. She's funny. But Juvier and them, I think they just moved. They in Dubai, and I know Swaggy see him. He's in Dubai. A lot of them they moved to Dubai, and my other mentor, some are in Miami and this and that. But Juvier's class, I had to learn this future stuff.
Mm-hmm.
His class cost me $3,500. $3,500, bro, to learn this. That's why I never said that. When I was quiet all this time, people thinking, oh, Uncle P disengaged. I was studying it just for him to be mentored by him. That didn't include what I learned from Mamba. That didn't include what I learned from all the other ones. I learned from the best, and I had to pay, bro. And it cost me money and time to learn what I'm learning. And I did all of that so I can come back and say, okay, how can I help my people and simplify it for them? So the questions that a lot of people had, like you just asked, okay, that little trip. Okay, that just helped that just helped you. You can see how easy it is. The other brother was asking a question. I'm showing him how it's easy. See, I had to pay to learn, though. I had to pay to learn. So being a trailblazer is costly. But it's okay if I know that I can help God's people to earn a living so that when he says, hey, I'm calling you off the bench, I need you to go and handle this business. You won't say, God, no, I can't because, I ain't got the money to do. This is why a lot of people can't be used by God, because they're always telling God about their resources.
Yeah.
So if I can help people to have enough so that you're not worried about the resource, then you'll do exactly what he tells you to do when he tells you to do it, because you already got enough money in your pocket. Money ain't an issue no more. And if he tells you to do something controversial, you're not worried about whether people like you or don't like you, because you already got your own money coming in. Rich people don't care about your opinion. Why do you think a lot of rich people don't have social media? They get talked about on the news and everywhere, but they don't have their own social media. Why? I don't care what you say. What did you cost to me? I got millions. I don't care about what fly.
They block off the distortion. And if people, and I'm gonna say this, whoever in this class right now on the YouTube side or the super easy side, you need to reevaluate if you're not making money in the Forex and you tired of blowing these accounts and these brokers is just using you. You better listen to Uncle P and invest that money and come over to the Futrix side and start making money. I mean, you can't be you can't make money overnight, but by you learning the skill, it'll take you a long way, especially with this economy and all the economic, the economic choppiness and everything going on, community, whatever. You really need to sit down and look in the mirror and listen to what this man is saying, because like I say, I was down and out. I was going to be like, you know what? The devil's finna make me make me just go out here and just go buck wild. But I listened to Uncle P, a mentor, his videos, his inspiration and rooting you on did a lot. You got to work hard. Things ain't easy. So if you in here, and I'll say one more time, you need to really come on to the Futrix side and learn. And you could do Forex, but I'll just come over here. Where is it at? I'm just telling people that and stop being cheap, because when you cheap, you're not going nowhere. You have to invest. Even everybody invests.
Let me play this for you guys. Let me play something for you guys. This is Jim Rohn. Listen.
If you want to be wealthy and happy the rest of your life, just learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I have found in my experience that income does not far exceed personal development. Now, sometimes income takes a lucky jump, but sure enough, unless you grow out where it is, it'll usually come back where you are. Life has strange ways. If somebody hands you $1 million, best you become a millionaire quickly, so you get to keep the money. Otherwise, sure enough, it'll disappear. Somebody once said, if you took all the money in the world, divided it up equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself, personal development, because true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained in what you become. If you want to be
powerful, 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 powerful. And this is why I was quiet. I wanted to bring value, but I could not bring value to others until I bring value to myself. And that point that he made about if all the money in the world, I want you guys to hear me real good on this. Well, these rich people, that's why I said I never complain about what rich people are doing. That's none of my business, because I don't know what they went through to get where they got. But I do know one thing, that even if, and this is for those who want all these reparations, gimme, just give it to me. Just give it to me. I don't want to earn nothing. Just give it to me. Give it to me. No cost to me. Just give it to me. Okay? Here's what I've learned. Money will flow where your mind is. Money will flow where your mind is. So if your mind is not developed to think like wealthy people, even if God gave you $1 million today, that money gonna flow right back out of your pocket and you're gonna go back right where you were. This is why so many lottery winners. This is why so many lottery winners go back being broke. They made millions of dollars and they went back being broke. Why? It wasn't about the money. It was about their thinking process. And so everybody's saying, yeah, these rich people doing this and these rich people do that. And if I had this, no, if you had it, you would do exactly what you're doing now. You would be spending it on things that have no value at all. And soon enough, you're going to splurge with your friends and they're going to suck your pockets dry. And you're going to end up back being broke and trying to pray for a miracle when God gave you one and you squandered it. It's about your thinking. I know a lot of people couldn't afford to pay $3,500 to learn from just one mentor. I understand that. But some of these mentors didn't even cost that and you wouldn't even pay them. Now you go get your drink and your liquor and you go get your shoes, the Jordans, you go get this and that. You don't have a problem spending that so you can appear to be wealthy. But when it comes to real investment into your head so that you can really develop a life-changing skill, nah, man, you penny pinching. Nah, man, I don't know about that $97, man. I don't know about all that. Okay, don't worry about it. But your life will always be exactly the way your thinking process is. Because you're more focused on trying to appear successful than actually trying to become successful. You want people to think you're a success rather than to quietly become success. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here, because that's real talk. That's real talk. All right. I got to take one more hand. I got to get out of here. Let's say Kurt. Kurt, go ahead and unmute. And Dale, I'll try to squeeze you in too.
Hi, how you doing?
All right, what's happening? Derek, my man, hold on, I got to say my man, D, bro, thank you so much for everything, man. You my dude, bro. I appreciate you. All right, Dale, go right ahead, man. I just want to tell him thank you.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Yeah, so I was I'm going to sign up for the take profit. So you said it's better for the 150 account, correct? Because of more leverage. No, I mean, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain why
Yeah,
I do it.
yeah, no, I know, because I like what you said. I was thinking about the 50K just to pass it faster, but
Sure.
it makes sense what you were saying. Is
It
there any?
depends. It depends. See, to me, I'm used to dealing with bigger lot sizes.
Okay,
So for me, doing a 50K account would be a little bit mentally challenging for me.
okay, that makes sense.
Make sense? For me. But for many others, they're comfortable with the 50K accounts and they're passing them easily. Yeah, so it's totally up to you. Because here's the drawback. You can go with a bigger account, but guess what? It's going to take you longer to pass because, bigger account, bigger number to pass. 50K account, pass it faster. So it's always up to you. It's always it's not a pros and cons kind of thing that just match your personality. For me, I like bigger accounts, so that's just that's just me. Even in the Forex side, I was always doing the bigger 100K accounts. I was always, even with the Forex prop firms, 100Ks was just my normal. So for me, it was just normal,
Okay, that makes sense. Is there anything else that we need? Like, do we have to pay for any monthly subscriptions, the data with
See all that stuff? That's where I don't. That's one of those that ask Jenny. She'll be the person to ask in the live session. She's the GOAT when it comes to that stuff. Me, I don't know. I just know that when you're using a futures prop firm, they're going to charge you a small monthly fee anyway. And it's already going to include your data fee. So I don't think about those things. I don't think about it. If you're trading on your own and you open up your own account, then you'll probably have to pay, I think it's like $10, $12 or something like that a month for the data feed. It's so inconsequential. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but it's small.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Here's what I'm trying not to do, bro. You see how I'm keeping everything so simple. I'm making money in the markets, but you see I'm keeping everything so simple. You're literally talking to somebody who don't know a whole lot about this. And that's the whole point. You don't need to know a lot about this in order to be successful. You don't need it. You don't need it. You're talking to somebody who, now I know there's more people out there, which is why we have the mixture of Jenny and me. You have more people who are advanced and they want to know all about the trading tools and how to use this and how to mark up the charts using all these different things, which TradingView has a ton of them. That's cool. That's perfect. Go to Jenny. She's the one man. She's the whoa man for that. But if you want to just be bottom basement Bob basics, then come on, Uncle P, man. I'm gonna keep it so simple. Because whether you know a whole lot about this or you know very little about it, when it comes to actually making the money in this business, in the futures market, it doesn't even matter. It's one of the most level playing fields. You don't have to know hardly anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's so much easier.
It is. It really is, brother. It really is. So for me to have the Forex side, I still got plays over there, but to have this, it just brings, it's just easy. It's just easy. It's just easy, man.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's all. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I appreciate your question. Thank you.
All right.
All right. And Dale, let me go ahead and get you, and you'll be the last one for today. We are well over time, but you know what, guys? This was a 2-hour and 11-minute class, but I thank you guys for hanging tight with me and let me run my mouth. I appreciate you guys. And next week will be our last week. So again, if you have trading questions or whatever, make sure to come next week, and that'll be that. Okay. Our last Grand Poobah class. All right, go ahead, Dale. You can go ahead and unmute. Waiting on you, Dale. Okay. All right. Well. Okay. Well, Dale, if you have a question, just wait till next. Hold on one second before we go. Let me see. I'm confused about what type of broker I need for futures. Yeah, like I said, just research it. Just go on Google, guys. Just go on Google. Just Google it up. Or go on you. Here's what I suggest you do. Here's what I suggest you do. If you're part of the futures program, Jenny already has that set up for you. She has brokers recommendations. She has prop firm recommendations. She has discount codes. She has all of that stuff for you guys. That's what I said. These questions y'all asking me, she's the person to ask. She already has things set up in order for you guys. Okay, so go ahead and ask her. But if you haven't joined yet and you just want to do your own due diligence, then the best thing that I suggest you do, go on YouTube and just type in best for futures brokers, best for futures prop firms, and look at some YouTube videos, and you'll get your answers in a matter of minutes. And it'll be an answer you feel comfortable with. Okay. All right. So Andrew, I hope that helped. Let me see. Ty. No, he didn't have a question. Robert, you said you had a question. I didn't see your question. Let me see. T. Livingstone. I wanted to know for the futures agent session, how many days in the week? It's going to be 3 days a week. 3 days a week. Yeah. And like I said, I'll have that link on the website before we launch. It's a separate service. Well, same thing, small subscription service, just to pay for our time, just pay for my time, because you got to remember, I can do this. Like last night when me and Nancy were trading, we was actually sitting on the couch on my laptop watching a movie together. So for me to come in and help other people make money, that means I'm gonna have to stop my time with Nancy, which is one of the most valuable things. Besides God, one of the most valuable things I have is, besides Nancy and my children, is my time with Nancy. Okay. So that means I'm gonna have to stop hanging out with her to be able to come in here and do things. So that's the reason why I'd say, hey, it's a little something for my time, you know what I mean? And you're getting the trading tools, you're getting guidance, you're getting coaches, and hey, I think, and I'll make it affordable. Same thing like we're doing now. I'm not going to charge no astronomical price. Like I said, Juvere's class, he was the most expensive one that I paid. It was like $3,500. But they do the same thing, they trade daily live and this and that. But theirs was more complicated than this, theirs was more complicated than this. But again, people were making money in there, so I like them. I have much respect for him and his crew. Much respect. But yeah, it was more complicated. So you would have been upset probably because it was a little more complication, a little more marking up the charts and this and that, a little more engaging. So you really had to, give it a learn. But like I said, man, I don't mind. I learned from him. I learned from Mamba. Mamba FX. I learned from many people. I learned from many. And then I said, okay, how can we make this simple enough so that anybody at the grassroots level or the beginning level can come in here and just pick it up, and within a day or two, you know exactly, you have a concept of what to do. You know what to do. Okay. And then it's just fun trading together as a camaraderie. Because the one thing that brings value, even if you had our tools, the one thing is directional bias is where a lot of people are going to get their behinds eaten up. Okay. Which is why we're still doing the live sessions with us. Because we could have been one of those things, hey, we'll just sell you a trading tool. That would have been a waste of time, because a lot of times you're going to still get the directional bias wrong, and you're not gonna succeed. So that's where guidance still comes in. Guidance. And it's always good to trade with a community than to keep trading by yourself. By the way, let me say this in closing. For many of you guys, that's part of the issue as to why you haven't been successful. Number one, because you're trading alone, there's no boss over you, and you're a poor boss over yourself. If you want to be honest, you're a very poor boss of yourself. You're not really good at managing yourself, because if you take a loss, you come back and you say you're not going to revenge trade, but what do? You revenge trade, right? And you double down on your lot size, and then you end up blowing your account. Now you're cussing yourself out and you're feeling depressed and this and that. Why? Because there was no group to help you stay in the parameters. Like a kid, when you go to the bowling alley, they have these kiddie things, where the kid can roll the ball, and they have the little rails up to keep the ball without going into the gutter, right? So they keep these parameters in place so that the ball hits down the lane without hitting the gutters. So some of you guys, you don't have those guards, and you keep hitting these gutters because you keep saying, I'm going to do it on my own, but you're being stubborn. And so therefore, this is another reason why, even if you learn it, it's good to trade with a community so that you keep the lanes, you keep you guided, keep you guided. And so, like I said, it's really just like $8 a session, and you see me make a couple of hundred on gold and while I was talking to y'all. So that paid for, a couple of months. So it's not about the money, really. It's just, hey, just pay a little bit for our time and the tool, and being in a live session will be very, very helpful. So even if you lose a trade, you'll have some guidance as to what happened. And then we'll have the plan set up in place as a group to know, okay, here's how we're going to, regroup and look for this. Because as somebody said earlier in here today, the market, the markets are very, very choppy today. And that's okay. It's going to be days like that where the market is just ugly. It's not a pretty day. And I'll show you guys this, and then we'll wrap up. See? You're gonna have days like this where it's just completely choppy. And that's days you need to know, how do I handle those days? Because if you lose a trade and it's a choppy day, you're gonna lose your mind. But with guidance, you'll know, okay, wait, let me calm down. Or here's the good news. What I have found, which is why we're starting the Asian session as well. Oftentimes when it was choppy during the New York session, I took a loss, I made my money back the same day during the Asian session, which is less volatile. Did y'all hear where I said? So if you're part of both the Asian program and the New York program, typically you can, and I can't make promises because that's, not what I'm supposed to do, but I typically make money in both sessions. Okay, come in, do my business during the New York, make some money. Then wait for the Asian session, make some money. But if I have a bad day in the New York session because it's during the New York time and there's a lot of news going on during the New York time and I take a loss, I have the ability to calm myself down and relax because I know I'm going to make it right back in the Asian session because I have access to 2 times a day. Very, very precise. And because I have that discipline, and because you're going to be a part of our group and you're going to be having access to that discipline, it helps you to become very, very successful. Very, very successful. What we've done in the Forex market is I will spend time with you on Wednesdays. We'll look at reviewing charts and this and that, but we've never traded live together so that we can all hold each other accountable. That's what is missing in your trading. Some of you guys, that's what you need. You have knowledge, you know how to mark up charts and this and that, but you don't have no accountability, and you keep blowing up your accounts because you lack discipline. You're hopping in when you shouldn't be hopping in on trades, and you know it don't match your rules, but you do it anyway. Why? You need a team. You need a group. And those who trade as groups always do better than people who trade by themselves. That's why you see very few successful people in trading. It's not that they don't know what to do, it's the discipline side. And that's where trading with a group comes into your benefit, because now you're with a group of people who can hold each other accountable. And that's why people on Wall Street make so much money, because they are in a group with accountability. You're at home, no accountability. In fact, your family member don't even have a clue what you're doing. You telling them you're trading, but they don't know what the heck you're doing. So they're not even accountable. And then when you have these losing days, you walk out with attitude, or you pretend like you're okay, but you're really not. They see you with the attitude, but they still don't even know exactly what happened. You feel me? Okay. All right, you guys, I will let you go. And to go on, again, our website is futurix.com if you want to join the Futurix program, or the copycat, if you want to be traded on, copied on our trades. All right. Peace and hair grease. Thank you guys so much for your time today. And we got one more class next week and we'll be good to go. All right, you guys.